Assalamualaikum ji, welcome back to an episode of Kiya, Kazi. My guest today was Bilal Hassan, Mr. Paki. We get to speaking about the plight of an average Karachiite and the chaos on our political scene, about what he's learned over the years becoming a photojournalist in Karachi, across Pakistan, on the spirit of togetherness and unity that he hopes to enamor young people with, and on the privilege to have a conversation with young men in Pakistan. Enjoy. 3, 2, 1, Mr. Paki. You're saying Mr. Paki is a brand?
Mr. Paki is now a brand.
Yeah. But so full marketing style, that's how you treat it?
Yeah, it's not that like I treat it that way. It's how I'm known now.
Okay.
You know, like Bilal Hassan is a very, very common name. It's basically like if you search for Bilal Hassan anywhere, you will get like hundreds, thousands of Bilal Hassans.
It's a nice name.
It's a nice name and everything, but there are two very common names which have become one name.
Yeah.
But Mr. Paki is unique in that sense. So whenever I go out or whenever I'm collaborating with brands and everything, they know me as Mr. Paki. ठीक है? So like even अगर promo code भी कोई brand मेरा बनाता है मेरे नाम के वो Mr. Paki होता है. ठीक है? So like yeah, that's what it's become now.
But like, is there a concerted effort? Because you do create very, very unique content. ये पिछली बार भी बात हुई थी अपनी.
Kazi, not a concerted effort or anything. I try to be myself as much as possible.
100%, okay.
Like we've like met also outside this setup and also.
Yeah.
So you know I'm just
this is
exactly this is how I am. It's not a character that I'm putting on. This is exactly. अगर मैं कैमरे के सामने फ्लेक्स करता हूँ मैं कैमरे के पीछे भी बहुत उतना ही करता हूँ. ठीक है.
L-set हर जगह होता है.
और ये हर जगह होता है. Like ये L-set भी चलो कर लेते हैं. Yeah. So it's not like a character or anything. It's जैसा है वैसा है.
Okay. So what's interesting again is I would like to pick your brains first about, you know how Instagram has become completely for short videos now.
Yes.
You as a traveling minimalist photographer, which is what you are technically, right?
Technically, like documentary photojournalist,
exactly.
on that spectrum.
Photojournalist, exactly. How do you respond to this? You're also a doctor and all those things.
Yes.
We have not introduced you. We will not introduce you. If you don't know Mr. Paki, you should go find out now. Sorry.
There's a lot. There's a lot here.
Sorry. You should watch the previous podcast. Do those things. Sorry.
Part 1.
Yeah. You should watch part 1 and then you will also understand why we're matching.
On season 1 of Mr. Paki and Kazi.
We're matching clothes. You need to know these things.
But ये देख लो, मोज़े different है.
मोज़े different है. We had to differentiate. और मैंने टोपी नहीं पहनी है. लेकिन हाँ, so how, because there's been a concerted effort on at least Instagram, and TikTok is just all over the place.
Oh yeah.
What do you say to that?
We have to obviously learn to evolve with the times. ठीक है? You cannot be rigid. ठीक है? And this is what I've noticed with all social media. This is even the same thing with technology. ठीक है? Technology के साथ भी होता है like अभी आपका एक iPhone है, बाद में दूसरा आ जाएगा. iPhone के बाद भी शायद कोई और ही नया brand आ जाएगा and everything. You have to learn to evolve with it. So my way of evolving, and which I've kind of started doing, is now I focus. तस्वीरें तो होती हैं, and that is also important because that is my style of how I tell stories. But I also make a concerted effort if I'm traveling कि मैं videos भी बनाऊँ जगह की, ताकि I capture the vibe. But it's all in my way, ठीक है?
Yeah.
Like अभी तक मैंने वो नहीं किया जहाँ मैंने कोई वीडियो बनाया है उसके पीछे मैंने कोई गाना लगा दिया. वो मैंने नहीं किया.
Would you ever do that?
I would never say never.
Okay.
Like I would never say never.
Is that your style?
My style is always to paint as realistic a picture as possible कि अगर आप वो देखो आपको लगे कि आप उसी जगह में हो. Like today, like which I posted was on the beaches of Pakistan, and it was like a collection of just videos of all the beaches. कोई गाना वाना कुछ भी नहीं. It's exactly how it is. So when you look at it and you like swipe through it and everything, all the videos आपको लगेगा this is exactly
because that's what it is, na yaar. I mean, you're not a lot older than me, but we're not that old.
No.
But the kind of appreciation you get, the kind of recognition, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप ना बोलो, आप अपने मुंह में मिठू तो नहीं बोल, मैं बोल, माशाल्लाह. So the kind of, alhamdulillah, the kind of, ARKG, the kind of prominence that you are afforded is that of a journalist. Alhamdulillah, not of a content creator. And the thing is, one would hope कि eventually मुआशरा ऐसा हो जाए कि हर किसी को equal इज्जत मिले, लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है, right? So TikTokers are not considered काबिल एहतराम like journalists are. As of right now, that's just the landscape we exist in. So to that end, जो आप बोल रहे हो कि अभी भी आपने videos जो लगाई, no music and all that, I think your audience in particular, which is growing mashallah से, your audience accepts this कि हाँ ये इस किस्म की. But if I were to do it, they'd be like, why are you not putting in more effort?
यार हाँ ये बात एक बहुत होती है काजी कि and this I've noticed is अगर आप हल्का सा कुछ हटके करोगे from what you normally do,
from what you're known for,
your audience is unpredictable in how they're going to respond.
Sure.
I'll give you an example. Recently, like in the past year, I've also, rather than एक तो मेरा जो main जो muse and subject is Pakistan. And Pakistan ke all aspects of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, I post everything. I wanted to post things exactly how they are.
You're actually crazy about the coverage as well because you're everywhere, mashallah se.
Alhamdulillah.
You're alhamdulillah everywhere. Abhi aap Ramzan mein hi, 10 din baki hain. You've been you've been to multiple places, no?
Yes. Like I've traveled quite a bit, and but it's also saving up. Like traveled early in the year, but saving it up Ramzan mein karunga, Ramzan mein drop karunga and everything. So the thing is, yes, ये होता है, ठीक है. But what was I saying?
Example दे रहे थे आप मुझे कि the audience is unpredictable.
Yes, it's unpredictable. So जहाँ मैं, because recently I also started, I put myself as a subject also, ठीक है, and I talk about myself also in this, not like full of myself in the sense, but somehow I feel like it's important. There are some stories which I feel like were important. जैसे कि one was like my struggle with religion and everything. That is one thing which I posted recently. I like how I found God, how I came to praying. Like I posted about that. I posted about my fitness journey and everything. So it's very different in how your audience will respond to that. Like when I posted about my fitness journey and everything, yes, the engagement was insane and everything. Obviously, shirtless tasveer thi.
Yeah.
So, So the engagement was great, but instantly I lost like 200 followers. Instantly, it just like went down like that. And you're like, I don't understand, you know? The engagement was insane on that post and the comments and everything, but also the followers went. So you don't understand this. Ke some of your audience, yes, will respond to it, but some of it will not, and they don't want to see that. But that will not change me from not posting.
Of course,
because at the end of the day, आपको content ये नहीं create करना होता कि यार इससे मुझे follower आएंगे, इससे मुझे like आएंगे, ये नहीं. Because you have to constantly keep evolving. Because if you're not evolving, you're not growing.
No. You might as well not be LRM करे. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I suppose that's the price you pay, na? Especially so fitness journey एक चीज है. Religion, dude, in Pakistan, talking about it openly.
Yes, because I wanted to just talk about it from the point of view that it doesn't come naturally to everyone. It doesn't.
It's not supposed to.
And it's not supposed to. And one thing which I talked about was the fact that your relationship with God is very personal. It's between you and God.
It's meant to be, yeah.
And that's how it is. And everyone should have their own personal journey. Like, just because if you supposedly hypothetically come from a conservative family or like a religious family, that it should not be automatic that you're also like that. You should find God yourself. You should have your own personal journey and everything. So what I spoke about was like how I had like trials and tribulations in my life. Basically, I'll tell a bit briefly about this. It was like I was destined to go to the States.
Yeah.
And the Pakistani doctor dream is to get an MBBS degree from Pakistan. But after that is somehow to get out of the country. And that's the sad thing. That is the sad thing. That's the tragic thing. But I will use this opportunity to say this.
Yeah.
Is that some of the brightest minds in the country that graduate from medical school, from the top medical schools in the country, Unka, if you ask them what their aim is, 90% of them will tell you that they're either looking to go to the UK or the US.
Yeah.
I was also one of them.
Yeah.
Gave my exams, alhamdulillah, got brilliant grades, like brilliant. And I was all set. Everything was set. Like zindagi jo thi wo line pe thi, like everything line pe. Classic जो एक वो होता है ना जो
trajectory
जो and एक बड़ी सीधी trajectory थी मेरी. मैं कोई content creation पे कुछ भी नहीं था.
And you also had no blemishes on your records, nothing.
No blemishes. Like I was just like a classic med student. ठीक. जो focus था कि यार बस मुझे मेरा aim है, मुझे अमेरिका जाना है, अमेरिका में डॉक्टर बनूंगा, इतने साल में मेरी रेजिडेंसी खत्म हो जाएगी, इतने साल में मेरे इतने पैसे होंगे, ये घर होगा, ये लाइफ होगी, ये सब कुछ मैंने प्लान था. ठीक है.
White picket fence.
White picket fence. All that was what I imagined. So what happened was इंटरव्यू सीजन एक होता है जो वो अमेरिका के लिए होता है, एंड उसी के अराउंड मैंने अप्लाई किया था अपने वीज़ा के लिए, रिन्यूअल था, एंड हमारा वीज़ा जो है वो चले गया था इन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसेसिंग, एंड जब वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रोसेसिंग के अंदर वीज़ा जाता है उसके अंदर आपको वो कोई टाइम लाइन नहीं देते कि ये कब मिलेगा.
गुड.
बट इट वाज जस्ट गॉन.
Yeah.
It was gone. I missed interview season. एंड वीज़ा तो मिल गया, मगर वीज़ा आया कब? मेरा 18 महीने बाद आया. एंड 18 महीने के अंदर इंसान पूरा बदल जाता है. आपकी पूरी ज़िंदगी बदल जाती है. यू बिकम अ डिफरेंट पर्सन. सो ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम जब फंसा था, इंटरव्यू मिस हो रहे थे, and I was like, what the hell, man? Like, you know what? Like,
I did everything right.
I was like, मैंने सब कुछ सही किया था, मेरे नंबर सही, मैं डॉक्टर बना, and all, like, you know, like, technically in Pakistani society's eyes, I am the golden child.
Yeah.
You know, that's what was in my head. And alhamdulillah, like, the thing is, when you are a doctor, you get immense respect in this country.
Yeah.
Immense. It's immense. But the tragedy of this is कि डॉक्टर को रिस्पेक्ट तो बहुत मिलती है यहाँ, मगर जब डॉक्टर नया ग्रेजुएट करता है कोई उसको पैसे देने को तैयार नहीं होता. एंड इसीलिए सबसे द ब्राइटेस्ट माइंड्स लीव दिस कंट्री. ब्राइटेस्ट माइंड्स. एंड ईच डे जब मेरा एक दोस्त निकलता गया है, ईच टाइम इट यूज्ड टू लाइक फील लाइक अ लिटिल स्टैब, लाइक कि कहाँ गए सब, यू नो. एंड खैर, तो इसी के दौरान मैं एक दिन था, मैं बहुत लाइक परेशान था. ऑब्वियसली आई वाज परेशान बिकॉज़ आई वाज लाइक, आई डोंट नो वेयर माय लाइफ इज गोइंग. आई रियली डोंट नो वेयर माय लाइफ इज गोइंग. एंड आई वाज़न्ट पर्टिकुलरली लाइक रिलीजियस और एनीथिंग. नमाज भी लाइक कभी जुम्मे उम्मे की ईद नमाज पढ़ लेता था, ऐसा कुछ वो नहीं. सो एक दिन था लाइक रात में नींद नहीं आ रही थी, एंड बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ थॉट्स गोइंग थ्रू योर हेड. यू लाइक, what the fuck am I going to do with my life?
Yeah,
you know,
dude, where am I?
What am I going to do?
Yeah,
like, if this doesn't work out.
Because you're spiraling, no?
You're spiraling, and because you planned everything in one direction. आपने उस direction में plan किया था. And मुझे, I was like, shit, if this doesn't work out, I have to go back to square one, start all over again. मतलब यही process अगर मैंने अमेरिका के लिए शुरू की थी, यही मुझे from scratch UK शुरू करना, यही मुझे शायद from scratch पाकिस्तान शुरू करना पड़ेगा. And I was exhausted because America का जो process होता है, it's very exhausting.
Can I just say here, bro? They literally make you pay for wanting to be a citizen there. मतलब they really, जैसे I applied for the Canadian immigration. Took us 9 years to get there.
यार एक जो लफ्ज़ है ना, खून थुकवा देते हैं. And वो हमारे एग्जाम का भी यही होता है. It's a great exam, it's a thorough exam. वो आपको solid डॉक्टर बना देता है, आपकी critical thinking, everything. But it takes time.
It takes everything out of you.
And it changes you as a person. And like I was just, what the hell? So खैर मैं अकेला गया एक दिन रात में, like गाड़ी लेके, एंड फिर मैंने कहा चलो चाय पीऊंगा बैठ.
कहाँ चले गए थे?
ऐसी रैंडम जो चाय वाले होते हैं ऐसी समवेयर, तो जो एक खुला होता है ऐसे. I was just driving अकेला, ठीक है. It's like around 11, 12, and I just went, sat down, अकेले बैठ गया, चाय पी रहा हूँ. एक रैंडम बाबा नहीं होगा, अंकल, I'd say uncle, पढ़े लिखे टाइप से, and he came and he's like, बेटा ये कुर्सी खाली है? मैंने कहा हाँ. He's like, मैं बैठ जाऊँ? मैंने कहा हाँ.
How old were you?
This was probably like around 3-4 years back. 3-4 years back, I was probably like mid-20-ish. Mid-20s. So आगे he's like, मैं बैठ जाऊँ? मैंने कहा बैठ जा, ठीक है. अब I wasn't like looking to make conversation or anything.
Dude, not at that.
And जब आप परेशान होते हैं, आपको किसी से बात नहीं करनी होती. And जानबूझ के मैंने जो है ना अपनी कुर्सी से भी like ऐसे हो गया था, जैसे कि just don't talk to me, और ऐसे करके मैं चाय लेके बैठ गया था, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Uncle wanted to talk. ठीक है.
Uncle was like,
Uncle wanted to make conversation, and uncle मुझे देखते हैं and कहते हैं instant just went for the jugular. He's like, बेटा तुम परेशान क्यों? Just instant.
Yeah.
I was like,
dude.
I was like, मैं परेशान नहीं हूँ. Like, and I was बदतमीज, like rude. And because I just didn't want to talk. And you know, जब आप परेशान होते हैं, आपको नहीं करनी, आपको किसी से भाषण नहीं चाहिए.
But is that your habitual mode?
No, it's not. It's not.
You do open up usually.
No, like you know me. Like I'm a friendly person and everything. But when जब आप होते हो ना, जब आप परेशान होते हो, आप जिंदगी से तंग होते हो, उस वाले पोजीशन में होते हो, so you're just all over the place. You're like a hot mess. So I was like in that, कि मुझे बात नहीं करनी, मुझे किसी से बात नहीं करनी. एंड वैसे ही आपको घर में भी जब आप होते थे ना, तो घर में आपको हर बंदा कुछ अपनी राय दे रहा होता था. ये राय बेटा ऐसा करो, तुम जो है ना नॉर्थ कोरिया का भी एग्जाम दे दो. नहीं बेटा तुम ऐसा करो, तुम इधर का भी एग्जाम दे दो, तुम उधर का. एंड आई वाज लाइक, डूड जस्ट शट अप, डोंट टॉक टू मी. आप तो डॉक्टर भी नहीं हो, आप तो लाइक डोंट यू लाइक fix computers or something? Like,
Yeah.
why are you giving me advice?
Yeah.
मेरे फलाना रिश्तेदार ने जो है ना साउथ अफ्रीका का एग्जाम, just shut up, man. Like,
Yeah.
and so like I was in that mode कि मुझे बात नहीं करनी थी. I just wanted, like alone time, me time to myself.
Sure.
तो इसीलिए मैं घर से बस निकला था. मैंने बैठ के बस चाय वाय पी रहा था. I just wanted to just quietly drink chai, get my thoughts together. खैर, he's like, बेटा तुम परेशान क्यों? मैंने कहा मैं परेशान नहीं हूँ. He's like, बेटा तुम्हारी शक्ल पे लिखा है तुम परेशान हो.
Wait, so even after a Batami's response, he still insisted.
He wanted to talk. And he's like, बेटा तुम्हारी शक्ल पे लिखा है तुम परेशान हो. And he looked me dead in the eye. Okay, then in my head I was like, what do I have to lose? Let's vent out.
Yeah.
Let's vent out. ठीक है. So I just थोड़ा मैंने बताना शुरू. मैंने कहा यार अंकल ये हुआ है थोड़ा वो. सुन he listened very quietly. I think I talked for like good 10 minutes straight to this random person I do not know. I just did not meet ever in my life. And
What did he look like? Like a normal uncle?
Like a normal uncle. No, like a normal uncle. ठीक है. And he सुना. When I was done, he asked me one question. He's like, बेटा तुम अपने लिए दुआ करते हो? He's like, and he was very specific. He's like, अपने was the word he used specifically. That was the word. I was like, odd question, but then I thought, मैं कहा नहीं कोई खास नहीं अपने लिए. He said जब नमाज पढ़ते हो तुम क्या दुआ करते हो? मैंने कहा मैं अपने अम्मा अब्बा की सेहत तंदुरुस्ती लंबी उम्र मुझे सेहत तंदुरुस्ती दे अच्छी बॉडी दे दे कभी कभार ठीक है ask for that but and I was like no not specifically अपने लिए I was like मैं काफ़ी लेट आता हूँ लाइन में. मैंने कहा बेटा जब तुम जाओ ना अपने आप को प्रायोरिटाइज करना. उन्होंने कहा अपने लिए मांगना दुआ. And he said one thing. He's like, बेटा it's okay to be a bit selfish with your prayers. He's like अगर और उसने मुझे बोला उसने कहा बेटा अगर तुम खुद खुदा से नहीं मांगोगे खुद नहीं मांगोगे how do you expect things to work out? I was like okay. And then he's like कि आप जब and he was giving like an argument. He was like कि usually जब हम परेशान होते हैं तो we go to our loved ones. You're like हमारे लिए दुआ करना प्लीज़ हमारे लिए दुआ करना. मगर उसने कहा कि बिलाल सब लोग सबकी अपनी परेशानियां होती हैं and everyone has their own परेशानी. He's like maybe they might remember maybe they might not remember.
Sorry.
He's like but if you ask for it yourself. He's like just ask for it yourself. I was like okay. I did not get this uncle's name.
Are you kidding me?
I did not get this uncle's name. I don't even remember what he looked like. We never crossed paths. And khair, that night I went home. मेरे दिमाग में सो थॉट रहा एंड आई प्रेड एंड जब मैंने नमाज पढ़ी मैंने लाइन में सबसे पहले अपने आप को लेकर आया. मैंने आई आस्क्ड फॉर थिंग्स आई सैट मैंने पूरी लिस्ट बनाई. मैंने कहा ये
If you could please give me all this. Thank you.
ये अच्छी बॉडी मसल्स वो भी आए थे ठीक है सब आए थे उसके अंदर. ऑल ऑफ दैट स्टफ केम इन देयर एंड देन लाइक वो दिन है एंड देन somehow I don't know how. And like I said, I was just meant to be the doctor child going to America. But out of nowhere, like I started doing ads. I'm up on a billboard now. It's crazy. And then I'm collaborating with some of the biggest brands in the country. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. I've been on TV, been on radio. I've done podcasts. I've had my own podcast with Patari. And life is wild. Life is wild.
It's
that
crazy,
way.
Yeah.
And so like point being like what I wanted to tell through that post was that like everyone has their own personal journey with religion. And like I had my own personal journey and it's very personal and very private to me. But I wanted to share it because I feel like everyone has something like this.
Sure.
सबका अपना होता है.
देख क्या आप जो बात कर रहे हो ना एक चीज़ जो मुझे राइट अवे याद आती है वी ऑल हर्ड दिस ग्रोइंग अप. हज़रत अली रज़ियल्लाहु अन्हु का कॉल था अपने इरादों को टूटने में मैंने खुदा को पहचाना. Here's what's so crazy about this. Here's what's so crazy. Carl Jung, arguably one of the most prominent psychotherapists of our century, ये जो हमारी century है ना, he said something very similar. He's like in everything that upsets my trajectory, I recognize God.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because the thing is, वही वाली बात है ना. I don't. So you could have been very rich and happy in America. You could have been, right? Would it have been this prominent? Would you have been this happy? Or
and now, that's what I question so much. I was like, fine, chalo main chale jata America. Would have had like probably like the white picket fence wali zindagi hoti and everything. But यार काजी मुझे जो अपने मुल्क में अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जो इज्जत मिली है like it's I don't think I would have done that. And this was those 18 months जहाँ मेरा visa फंसा था, and that is where everything just sort of started falling into place. And it just all like, if someone asked me, लोग मुझसे बार-बार जैसे पूछते हैं
कैसे हुआ?
How did it happen? When did you realize that your account blew up? When did you feel? I was like, honestly, I don't know. It just happened.
That's it.
It just happened.
That's it.
And and like, I still don't know. I still don't know how, and I still have a hard time articulating it. Obviously, like, I'm thankful and everything.
Alhamdulillah.
I've traveled across the country, like, it's wild.
Bro, you've traveled. ये मैं बोलने वाला था. I don't think I don't think I am doing justice. People will have to go just check out your Instagram. I don't think I'm doing justice to how you've traveled. Lots of people don't get to travel like this.
Yeah.
The people you've traveled with, the way you and the thing is, इसमें आपका भी ज़ाहिर है यहाँ पे तारीफ करना मुनासिब है कि you also don't then have any restrictions or any inhibitions between yourself and the people who you are talking to.
No, not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
Where people will be like, maybe मैं इनके साथ नहीं बैठूंगा, इनसे नहीं गुफ्तगू. There's none of that with you. You're like, आप हर झोपड़ी में बैठे हुए हो, ज़मीन पे बैठे हुए हो, you're in fishing boats.
वो भी मेरे लोग हैं. मैं भी उनका बंदा हूँ.
I was like, this is ridiculous. This dude's everywhere because you have a particular look and you have a particular face, na? So it's this dude everywhere. It's just like photoshopping you. अभी ये कश्ती में बैठे हुए हैं, अभी ये कहीं झोपड़ी के उस छत पे, अभी ये बस के ऊपर चढ़े हुए हैं. बस के ऊपर क्यों चढ़े हुए किसी को नहीं पता. बिलाल रिपोर्टिंग
पहुंच गए. And this is literally how I just travel. It's like there is never a plan. I just go. या कोई जरा सा भी दिखा देता है, इजहार कर देता है, you know what, you should come and cover this. I was like, okay,
I'm there.
Let's do this, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And I'm literally there.
What do you, so people have in a different, in a similar context, but a different medium, people have asked me this also. They're like, how do you decide who to call on the podcast? Right? And I don't have an answer. Do you have an answer? Like, how do you decide what to cover? Whatever speaks to you.
Do you know, whatever, speaks to me. And whatever I feel like, this is a topic where we can start a conversation in Pakistan. And this conversation is needed in Pakistan. We need to have this conversation. And that is where I talk. Because saaf si baat hai, when you have a platform and when you have this privilege, you have to use it wisely also.
Yeah.
Obviously, sometimes it's just like I feel like just posting like, like the travel type of stuff, very very vanilla. But there are some days where I want to talk about something.
But even your vanilla stuff is not in bad faith. It's just
it's not bad faith, but it's just like, it's safe.
Yeah.
It's safe travel content. Pretty landscapes and everything. वो भी दिखाना है, वो भी
चाय का cup and all those things.
चाय का cup है, ठीक है, वो खाने पीने की चीजें. But some days I want to talk, like recently with like the whole political crisis that is happening in the country. The hot mess that we are right now. And there were people had so many like diametrically opposed views.
Bro, the polarity.
The polarity. Like, and it was, and I just wanted to articulate the pain that you feel as a Pakistani when your country 75 years down the lane is still not figuring its shit out. So I was like, you know what, I need to write this down. And I was feeling it, and the thing is, कई दफ़ा होता है, you need to feel it, you need the emotions to come and it will flow एकदम से. And it's like I felt like मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा था and I was just typing. And I was like, ये मुझे post करना है. And the way I posted it was even I articulated कि मेरी generation में, मेरी and like this is our generation, हमने अपनी आंखों के सामने कितना like देखा है. Like just in हमारी आंखों के सामने, I think we were born at a time when the country was in crisis. There was the Karachi was like
MQM and all those things.
MQM, Karachi was a hot mess. That's when we were born. I think Zia ka jahaz had just exploded before we came. Then there was like Benazir and Nawaz played musical chairs with one another through the 90s.
Then Musharraf.
The dictatorship came. Then the whole Taliban insurgency, we literally lived through that. Benazir assassinated.
She got killed, dude. In our lifetime.
And the thing is, this all happened in our lifetime. And and this is the history जो हमारे देखो पाकिस्तान में history जो है is often tampered, and history कई दफ़ा जो होती है वो जो कहते हैं ना history is often written by whoever जिसके हाथ में पेन है, ठीक है,
100%, okay.
and पाकिस्तान में ये बहुत दफ़ा tamper की जाती है, but my point being is that this is the history that जो मेरी आंखों के सामने हुई है, and at least I will try to play my part not to have it tampered, because we've seen this, and we've even seen this.
Bro, देखो, after Benazir got assassinated, and then the mess that was the PPP government, or जो सारा the way Sindh was treated and all those things, उस सब चीज़ के बाद everyone, especially people like you and me, we might be the 1% or the 5%, लेकिन we make up a large part of the diaspora, the Pakistani diaspora, right? Imran Khan represented hope to all of us.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Back in 2000 and, was it 16 or when he was elected?
18.
18. Right? We were like, yes.
Finally.
Yes, dude. You know?
Like,
anyway, the packaging, you know, the way he looks, the way he treats himself, the way he carries himself. I was all for it.
All of us were.
I think I am a fan of his.
Yeah.
Right? But having said that, some things were just done very problematically, even in his time.
Oh yeah,
right?
and I'm glad we're going there because I have things to say.
Bro, you please say them, because मेरा सबसे बड़ा मसला ये है कि literally जो polarity की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, it's such a dangerous one in a country where we are known to be intolerant when it comes to religion.
Absolutely.
Right? आप क्या बना रहे हो? What is your narrative? या आप इमरान खान के साथ हो या आप काफिर हो? यार जान मेरी.
यार, like the thing is,
ऐसे नहीं करो यार.
Like the thing is like. This needs to be said, and I will say this, and I don't care if people I get flack for this, but the thing is, people need to understand that Imran Khan is a man who has his flaws, like all people,
like everyone else,
Unfortunately, हमारी जो मीडिया है वो दो आपको व्यू नजरिया दिखा रही है, या तो ही इज लाइक अ मसाया या ही इज अ कंप्लीट डीमन, बट द रियलिटी इज देयर इज ग्रे, बहुत ग्रे है इसके अंदर. इफ यू आस्क मी अबाउट के पीटीआई गवर्नमेंट के पॉजिटिव्स क्या थे, पॉजिटिव्स थे, बिल्कुल थे. पॉजिटिव्स क्या थे? द कोविड रिस्पॉन्स, व्हिच पाकिस्तान डज नॉट गेट इनफ क्रेडिट फॉर. द वे वी डेल्ट विद कोविड, द वे वैक्सीन रोल आउट आया था, ऑस्ट्रेलिया तक में नहीं आया था, हमारे यहाँ आ गया था. आई मीन, not to compare and everything, but जो catastrophic scenes थे next door, we did not have this over here.
India was destroyed. India was ravaged.
हमारे नहीं था. ये ऑक्सीजन के cylinder were not being sold like gold. लोग सड़कों पे नहीं मर रहे थे and everything. Kartarpur was a great thing. Foreign policy, okay, fine, but like, I mean, एक respect थी आपकी दुनिया के अंदर, लोग आपको respect करते थे. But coming down to the negatives, there were negatives, and from the get go, जो जहाँ मुझे डाउट होना शुरू था फ्रॉम द गेट गो वाज जब इकोनॉमिक पूरा पैनल बन रहा था एंड एवरीथिंग, तो एक आतिफ मियाँ, एक इकोनॉमिस्ट, वर्ल्ड रिनाउंड इकोनॉमिस्ट, लाइक उनकी रिसर्च इज पब्लिश्ड एंड एवरीथिंग, and he was on his panel initially, but then he gave into extremists and he was like, you know what, because his religion does not align with us and everything, he was kicked off. And that is when it was like a punch in the gut where I was like, shit, we have not evolved.
No.
वहाँ से, then the fact that how he was so light on religious extremism, and in fact कई दफ़ा kind of just whistleblowing them, or if he wasn't saying it, someone in his party was saying it, and there was so much intolerance. Like I feel like there was so much intolerance around that. Third, like जब आपके highest level के ऊपर जब आप awards दे रहे हो लोगों को, जब आप awards बांट रहे हो, you are awarding literally sexual harassers, and I'm going like what message are you giving to people? What message are you giving? And don't tell me you did not know this. We all knew this. It was sort of like जानबूझ के. चौथा जो मेरा एक इशू था इनके साथ, देखें भाई, आप मुल्क के सदर हैं, आपका काम है मुल्क संभालना, मगर ये जो है कई दफ़ा there was this moral policing, and I felt like ये rather than सदर ही हमारे डैडी बन गए थे, ठीक है. स्टिल जो आपकी मोरल पुलिसिंग हो रही है, स्टिल मोरल पुलिसिंग, ये नहीं करना चाहिए, वो नहीं करना, भाई तू मुल्क संभाल. एंड साफ सी बात है, लेट्स एक्सेप्ट दिस. लाइक इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस, वी नो दिस मैन हैज फ्लॉज, एंड दिस मैन in his previous life इनकी डिफरेंट जिंदगी थी. 180 डिग्री अभी है इनका टर्न, एंड गुड फॉर हिम. आई एम नॉट जजिंग हिम, बट साफ सी बात है वो आपकी जिंदगी है, एंड we should not be paying for it.
With all due respect.
With all due respect.
That's your journey. And it's a beautiful journey.
And it's a beautiful journey and good for you. Because of all of that, and जिसकी वजह से आपने वो सब किया and lifestyle change and everything, अपने नजरिए Pakistan is a big country. We're 220 million people, and you're like enforcing this moral policing. I felt like, bhai, आप मेरे daddy क्यों बन रहे हैं? आप मेरे bedroom में क्यों घुस रहे हैं?
Here's the thing. Think about the fact that he has such a grand following. We are a country. Moise बोलता है ना. बोलती हैं. Sorry. We are a country with daddy issues, और हमें चाहिए कि कोई हमारा बाप बन जाए.
Yes.
The problem with all this still is we have an infantile morality.
Absolutely.
Right? So when, again, all of that is fine, but still we're like, oh, savior, father figure,
yes.
Imran Khan. But then anyone who opposes him, Vajpayee
No, but the thing is, the reason I'm saying this is, and you know, like, I don't want this to be misconstrued where people will be like, oh, nahi, to aap to PML and PPP ko support.
No, absolutely.
Ye main nahi kar raha
Nahi, bro.
The reason I am criticizing him, because one thing you need to understand, criticism is the most pure and honest form of patriotism. It is the most honest form of patriotism. Why? Because you want your country to be better. Because you think it can be better.
आज बैठ के भी आप में हम बिल्कुल ये बोलेंगे हम इमरान खान के सपोर्टर्स हैं, bro.
बिल्कुल ठीक है, but मैं criticize क्यों कर रहा हूँ इसको? क्योंकि because I want him to be better. I want him to stop doing these things and
stop putting us in danger.
And stop putting us in danger. And you know, like आपकी बात earlier के, like, you know how sensitive religion is. We have played with this fire, like where we mixed politics and religion. And if you have minority friends and everything, go talk to them once. These people are terrified of living in this country. They are terrified, absolutely terrified. Like, get out of your bubble and talk to them. And उनसे जब आप बात करते हो, like, आपको पता चलता है आप और वो एक बहुत डिफरेंट पाकिस्तान में रहते हैं. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ ऑल दिस विसल ब्लोइंग जो इनकी पार्टी में होता है, या लाइक और पीपल ही इज इन लाइक politically in bed with and everything who say these things, it's dangerous. And like, honestly, it has not been a great time. Let's not, and the reason I'm saying this is because while yes, there's this populist mood in the country and people are like coming out, and rightfully so because of the way it was all done, it is also important to criticize, because if we are not criticizing, we are not going to improve. We will be stuck exactly where we were. अभी ठीक है, अभी तो फाइन, चलो ठीक है, इलेक्शन हो गए, 2/3 majority आ गई, वापस आ गए and everything. Now what? Are we going to go back to everything that we fucked up on right now? Everything. Oh, and might I add also, the press freedom was ridiculous during this time. Reduced. It was reduced. Like, as a photojournalist and as someone who writes and everything, I found myself to be self-censoring many times, where I was like, and these are very like normal topics. Normal topics.
I've heard horror stories about their social media wing also. I've heard horror stories about them, silencing certain dissidents. मतलब, और फिर ज़ाहिर है आप ठप्पा लगा देते हो कि वो armed forces नहीं बोल रहा था आपको ये.
They will misconstrue it. They will misconstrue it. आपके पर या तो कोई allegation लगा देंगे, ठीक है, या ये armed forces को कट कर. Nobody is doing that. Nobody. No. We are like over here, like two sensible people. I hope sensible people just giving constructive criticism as it should happen.
Sensible.
If we are a democracy, this is what we should be allowed.
Sensible second, bro. But first, we chose to stay here. We love this place, man. We voted for you.
If we voted, I have the right to criticize you.
Yeah.
For like anyone who did not vote, shut up then. No vote, no criticism.
Yeah. No, we voted, dude.
Yeah.
We voted. But is bar, jo hai na, I was so crestfallen after this whole thing happened. They're like, would you vote again? And I, for a second thought about it, I was like, yeah, what's the point of voting, man? Because, what hurt me more than anything else, so Imran Khan now has been in politics for about 25 years.
Yes.
Meri umar hai 29. Right? So he, alhamdulillah, so he could have gotten someone from the age of 4, right? Multiple people. इनको अपने बच्चों को नहीं लाना था, ये नहीं लाते. वो that's a fair decision to make. He could have had multiple political heirs. ये जो इनकी argument है ना कि यार ये corrupt लोग हैं, इन्हीं से हाथ मिलाना पड़ा. खान साहब, यार please यार. I mean, you're one of the smartest people. You're one of the most popular people and the most potent leaders this country has ever produced. मतलब Zulfikar, what was Benazir Bhutto's greatest edge? She was thoroughly a thoroughbred politician because Zulfikar Ali Bhutto raised her to be one.
Yes, he bred, like exactly.
He proper took her everywhere, man.
वो जहाँ हर conference पे जाता था दुनिया में, उनको साथ में लेके जाता था. Like you look at pictures, there's like teenage Benazir in Nepal,
interacting with these
everywhere.
people.
Over here, and like this has to be said. And the biggest problem over here is कि you know that meme के मेरे को सब आता है मुझे. This is what is happening. You know what, bro? maybe you don't know things.
Maybe you don't
and
know
it's
some
okay
things.
to say I don't know things.
That's it, dude.
Ask the people who know.
Yeah. You have experts.
And as a Karachiite, and I feel like you will also feel this, my biggest issue, and जो मेरी सबसे बड़ी शिकायत रहेगी and है अभी तक, is the fact that how he neglected it. In the sense कि आप कराची आप एक दिन के विजिट पे या कुछ घंटे के लिए आके आप कराची के मसले हल नहीं होंगे, या हमने 2-3 तकरीरें, कराची को हम एक इतने बिलियन का पैकेज दे रहे हैं, उतने बिलियन का पैकेज दे रहे हैं, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला. एक्सक्यूज माई लैंग्वेज, लर्न फर्क पड़ेगा इससे. ठीक है, आप आओ कराची में, कराची वालों के साथ आके बैठो, टॉक टू पीपल इन कराची, एंड कराची के प्रॉब्लम्स समझो. पहली तो बात है समझो. डोंट एक्ट लाइक यू नो कराची के प्रॉब्लम. सबसे ज्यादा वी लिव हियर, इवन एट टाइम्स वी डोंट इवन अंडरस्टैंड इट. आई डोंट इवन अंडरस्टैंड इट. आई डोंट इवन कॉम्प्रीहेंड इट. But you need to come. This is the biggest city in the country. This is the financial capital. This is the city of gold. People come here to make their dreams. आप पूरे मुल्क में आप सफर करो, जाके हर जगह जाओ. I'm like नॉर्थ टू साउथ, आपको हर बंदा एक मिलता है जो आपको एक स्टोरी बताएगा, यार मैं भी कराची गया था. दिस इज हाउ पीपल टॉक. लाइक उनको जब पता चलता है कोई कराची वाला आया है अमिडस्ट देम, वो आपको इज्जत देते हैं, जैसे कि आप लाइक this is Pakistan's New York, and it is an absolute privilege to live here. Sure. Yes, it's in a mess and it's in shambles and everything, but कराची की वैल्यू है, कराची की इंपॉर्टेंस है इस मुल्क में, एंड दिस गाय डिड नॉट ट्रीट इट लाइक दैट, एंड दैट इज माय
theory is कि it was punishment. My theory is, and it was unfair कि ये हमें पनिश किया गया, but my theory is कि he was like हाँ पीपीपी को वोट करोगे ना,
ये होगा.
पर खान साहब हमने तो नहीं वोट किया था, हमने तो आपको किया था वोट.
14 MP थे आपके यहाँ से, 14 MP थे. आई मीन एक ग्रीन लाइन बस इतनी मुश्किल सर, वो भी इन्होंने आके लाइक यू नो वो वाला जो केक कट में अपना आके क्रेडिट ले लिया, वो भी फेडरल गवर्नमेंट ने जो लाइक अनफॉर्चुनेटली हैव टू से दिस, मगर नून ने शुरू करवाया था. बट देन आके आप कह रहे हो मैं क्रेडिट लूंगा एंड एवरीथिंग फॉर समथिंग एल्स. जो पिछली गवर्नमेंट, again I repeat, the PVP and PMLN are absolute shit and they're absolute trash and everything, because I don't want this to be misconstrued, but God man, like seriously, and it was frustrating to watch. It was so frustrating to watch कि यार एक सड़क तो बना देते यार,
तो कुछ कर देते,
कुछ तो कर देते.
नहीं आप नहीं सड़क बनाओ, आप सिर्फ ना हमसे बात कर लेते
आके. यू नो वो जो
अभी आपने धरना किया कराची में, अभी धरना किया ना आपने,
अभी ये फिर से करें धरना, पूरा कराची फिर से आएगा. पूरा कराची आएगा फिर से. एंड इट ब्रेक्स माय हार्ट टू वॉच दैट people from my city, like the city I love, I grew up and everything, come out and give him so much love and everything. Like 5-6 लाख लोग ऐसे ही आ जाते हैं, ठीक है, आने. But what do you give back in return?
You probably don't love us the same way.
Probably don't. Like आके 1-2 घंटे की आके आप विजिट, एक इमरान खान का एक दौरा होता है, वो like, you know what, I wish what he did was he would go to the neighborhoods, sit there, लोगों के साथ, even if it was for a fucking photo, आप जाके बैठते चाय ही पी लेते, ठीक है, कुछ एटलीस्ट एक्टिंग, शहबाज शरीफ एक्टिंग तो कर लेता है कम से कम, ठीक है, वो केट विंसलेट वाली टोपी पहन के.
Look, he looks good. What are you gonna do?
I like, but you know, that's what frustrated me, and I felt like I was just like waiting for that moment कि यार खान साहब आओ.
Because there was a couple of colloquialisms floating around. No, one of them being that he had been in the opposition for so long, Imran Khan साहब, कि he never quite got rid of those mannerisms, right? The way he would treat Bilal with disdain. Thing is, like it or not, whoever's governing in Sindh, ठीक है ना,
you have to deal with them. This
right?
is what democracy is.
This is what democracy is. You have to deal with them. And देखो, to be fair, if you don't like democracy, we can have that conversation. We can have whatever conversation you want to have, right? But please, for the love of God, we've suffered enough at the hands of extremists. ये आप ना करो कि कौन बेहतर मुसलमान है.
Yeah, no man.
ये ना करो यार.
And एक और बात है काजी, you need to like, जब आप ये comprehend करते हो, and again, like when I come back to the point of that, it is a privilege to live in Karachi. Why I say this, it's a privilege to live in Karachi because it's so diverse over here. And at least मैं ये बोलूँगा कराची में रहते हुए आपको इस चीज़ की रिस्पेक्ट होती है, because we go to school with people from different backgrounds, and हमें अंदाज़ा होता है कि ये मुल्क कितना diverse है.
Bro.
आपको ये अंदाज़ा होता है at least. एंड दूसरी बात है, कराची की जो हिस्ट्री है इज वायलेंट, एंड इट्स वायलेंट ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ एथनिक सेक्टेरियन वायलेंस. वी हैव बिन देयर, वी हैव प्लेड विद दैट फायर, एंड नाउ जब आप स्कूल में जाते हो एक बड़ी रिस्पेक्ट होती है फॉर डिफरेंट कल्चर्स एंड एवरीथिंग
because of that, no, we know.
like I'll give you an example, ठीक है, जो मेरा जो gym partner, the person who I work out with, Steve is Catholic, ठीक है, and you know, like itna, like it's so beautiful that there is so much mutual respect. अब like पिछले हफ्ते was the first time जहाँ उसका ईस्टर था और हमारा रमजान था. अच्छा, और ईस्टर के दौरान जो होते हैं जो because it's the leading up to
Christmas, no?
No, not Christmas. It's the crucifixion of Christ and then resurrection. तो उससे पहले जो 40 दिन होते हैं, इनके भी रोजे होते हैं. So Lent होता है. तो I think it was Friday. तो स्टीव का मेरे पास फोन आता है. स्टीव मुझसे कहता है कि यार बिलाल, आज हम वर्कआउट थोड़ा like he's like I've had a bit of a rough day. मेरा भी रोजा है. So can we work out इस तरीके से कि हम जो है रोजा हम जिम में खोल लें and then we start. I was like sure. मैं अपना इंतज़ाम करके ले गया था अपनी चीज़ें के. स्टीव बकायदा घर से खजूर सब कुछ लेकर आए मेरे लिए. And it hit me. I was like, this is so beautiful in the sense कि he's Catholic, I'm Muslim and everything. और हम दोनों रोज़ा साथ में खोल रहे थे. उनका भी होता है sundown पे खुलता है. And it was just this mutual respect. Like we did not talk about the fact, oh, तुम्हारा religion different, मेरा different religion. It was just like, तुम्हारा भी रोजा खुल रहा है, मेरा भी रोजा खुल रहा है. And I feel like because we live here in this city, there is so much respect for this. And I take it personally. I take it very, very personally when someone starts doing this कि ये अच्छा मुसलमान है, ये बुरा मुसलमान है, ये अच्छा पाकिस्तानी है, ये बुरा पाकिस्तानी है. This is wrong. Bro, this is wrong. We are a big country. We have a lot.
Bro, आप देखो ना, अब मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ ना आपको, this difference is weaponized and it is terrifying.
It is.
ठीक है, हम जो हैं यहाँ पे, we are the majority, by the way.
Of course.
People who look like this, pray like us, talk like us, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वालेकुम अस्सलाम, alhamdulillah, we are the majority, right?
Yeah.
अगर हमें डर लग रहा है, think about the people who are actually...
we have privilege, sir.
100%, so much privilege.
We have privilege.
Imran Khan Sahab, again, what I would urge him to realize कि if you can all of a sudden generate the biggest live thing on Twitter, all of those people aren't Sunni Muslims, man.
That's exactly what I say.
All of them aren't Sunni Muslims, dude.
अगर आप सुन्नियों के अंदर भी आओ, सुन्नियों के अंदर भी कितने सबसेक्ट्स हैं, ठीक है. अगर आप शियाओं के अंदर आओ, शियाओं में भी कितने सबसेक्ट्स हैं, ठीक है. आप क्रिश्चियंस के ऊपर क्रिश्चियन में कैथोलिक, प्रोटेस्टेंट, ने पारसी,
but you are their leader too.
आप उन सब के, आप पाकिस्तान के लीडर हो, ठीक है. You are not the leader of just सुन्नी पंजाबी मेल के, आप वो जो सबसे प्रिविलेज वाले सेगमेंट का आप है, आप उनके नहीं हो, ठीक. आप पूरे पाकिस्तान के. सो देखो, लाइक द थिंग इज, जो इनकी एक अच्छी बात थी when ये आए थे, इन्होंने करतारपुर वाला जब करा था, and he spoke about minorities and everything and protecting them.
That was beautiful.
ये बहुत अच्छी, and
it was so powerful.
I feel like it was one of his most things I'm very proud of.
Bro, it made me cry, bro.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And जैसे वो जाके सामने बिल्कुल बैठे थे and everything was brilliant. When the whole the जो Abhinandan crisis happened with India and everything, where like next door they were like हाँ जंग कर देंगे, पाकिस्तान को तबाह कर देंगे, and he dealt with it like such a statesman. Like every day we would like get us like खिताब होता था, he would talk to us and everything. I was like, yeah man, ये मेरा leader है, ये मेरा leader. I was so proud of it. And he was speaking to us like to all Pakistanis. He was not talking from the perspective of मैं सिर्फ सुन्नियों से बात कर रहा हूँ.
And bro, पता है क्या? What it felt like was कि हम इनके पीछे खड़े हुए.
Yes.
ये हमारे पीछे नहीं खड़े हुए.
मगर उसकी वजह से जो होता है like हमारे अंदर भी एक वो आया था कि यार नो विल बी फाइन, सही रहेंगे, ये ख्याल रख रहे हैं हम भी सही रहेंगे इंशाल्लाह. एंड लाइक या आई नो लाइक अराउंड दैट टाइम इट वाज क्रेजी. वी वर टॉकिंग टू ऑल आवर फैमिली मेंबर्स, यार जंग में होता क्या है बिकॉज़ वी वर सो क्लूलेस, ठीक है. लाइक आई वाज टॉकिंग टू माय दादी एंड एवरीथिंग, बिकॉज़ दादी लाइक माशाल्लाह हैज लिव्ड थ्रू लाइक ऑल पार्टीशन ऑल दैट, एंड लाइक बट वी वर लाइक होता क्या, लाइक इंस्टेंट वाज मीम्स बना रहे थे, वी वर चिलिंग, और वहां बराबर में पाकिस्तान को तबाह कर देंगे. सो पॉइंट बीइंग, there were points, and I'm not saying he's a bigot, but there were points, and I know deep down inside that this man does believe he represents all Pakistanis, but I don't know where this part comes out where he starts playing with this religion and everything. It's frightening. It's frightening. And like you said, like as Sunni Muslims who are in the majority, when we are frightened, I cannot imagine what the minorities are like.
Bro, socho na, think about the Aga Khanis or the
Shia community.
Just
literally just like right now, like every day, every other day, आप बेचारों को आपको कुछ पता चलता है, something's happened.
Trans community, bro, छोड़ ही दो, bro.
No, and like trans, like I remember जब वो क्वेटा में I think था एक हज़ारास के ऊपर एक मैसेकर हुआ था and everything, then you're like gaslighting them कि आप मुझे blackmail नहीं करो. These were like low moments and we should call this out. फिर जब आपके जब भी कोई आपके वो होते थे any like thing जहाँ there was some tragedy to do with women, like any like
the highway,
the motorway rape and all these things. तो या कुछ भी ये moral policing पे आ जाते थे, ये victim blaming पे कि लड़कियां ऐसे कपड़े पहनती हैं and everything. If he would not say it, someone in his party would say it, and he would not call it out. And you know what? It was setting a dangerous precedent, because we are a big country, 220 million people, and if you're sending a message out like that, you are not sending this message out कि हम ड्राइंग रूम में बिलाल और काजी बात कर रहे हैं, आप पूरे मुल्क को दे रहे हो ये खिताब. And then it gets repeated, and it just becomes this snowball.
Snowball, and a couple of things here, right?
It was a terrible time for women.
Horrible, man. And the thing is, he's an archetype. He needs to understand that that's what he represents. He represents a couple of archetypes. Societal conscious mein, he represents an archetype. So the leader, the strong man, the athlete, right? The virile like warrior.
Yeah.
ये सारे archetypes that he represents. ठीक है? Now, the problem with that is that people will wholesale forego their responsibility, the existential responsibility to you. They get ये इतने सारे archetypes ये बंदा represent करता है. Why do I need to think?
Of course.
Why do I need to?
नहीं, मगर लोगों ने छोड़ना, like सोचना छोड़ दिया. अभी भी again वही बात है. I feel like we are even having this conversation out of frustration because people are not having it.
Bro,
they are not having it.
Out of terror.
And out of terror, because like if I tried to even critique, yeah, they're like, oh, क्या मतलब है आप उन चोरों डाकुओं को सपोर्ट. I did not say that. I did not, and I repeat, I do not support PVP, PML, and they are absolute trash. But yes, constructive criticism should be allowed, because if we are a democracy, this should be allowed so that we become better.
Yeah. उसमें भी यही है ना bro, देखो, you became the prime minister for all of us, and we have just been, अभी थोड़ा और रैक करेंगे अपना दिमाग, 10 और ऐसी बातें आएंगी where he would talk, जैसे वो when this whole thing was happening with the whole Abhinandan thing, he went to the UN, the way he spoke, dude, I was like, yes, man.
Like last time, like अगर आपको याद हो, like वो जुल्फ़िकार अली भुट्टो ने जब हम now paper but like you know, like moments in Pakistani history, like I was like, yeah man, ये मेरा leader है, man, like I was like so proud of this, like dude. You know, there were moments where you were like, brilliant man, like इज्जत है हमारी, कोई इज्जत है हमारी मुल्क में.
And you wanted to follow him. वही वाली बात है बिलाल, मैं आपको अच्छा, I'll tell you a silly story. याद है when he was campaigning, he had not yet become the prime minister. And he had fallen off a...
Oh, yeah.
He had fallen off a container.
I feel like we all prayed for him.
Yeah.
We all
prayed, dude. Pray to...
We're like, I hope he doesn't die.
Pray to...
और like conspiracy theories जो like सारी...
वो गिर गए थे बाकायदा. अल्लाह रहम के hospital bed से जो खिताब दिया था कि मैंने सब... I cried, bro. When he was like, मैं जो कर सकता था मैंने किया. I was like, no. Right? There are people... I knew some people who were children of his closest cabinet members. Bro, would you believe I actually sent out a text to one of my friends, and I was like, please, could you just read this out to him? I really just want...
Amy, please.
I just want him to know कि I just so badly want him to know कि हम सब इसके साथ इनके साथ हैं.
We were all like that.
Bro, and the thing is, वही वाली बात है ना, and it's such a horrible feeling when this is hurt. This is heartbreak.
Of course.
और इस पे जब आपको कोई मतलब कोई आंटी जो who is overzealous, या कोई अंकल जो मतलब जाहिर है because इस्लाम उनके ज़िम्मे में आ गया, उनको अब डिफेंड करना है इस्लाम को, they point a finger at you and me and be like, ये जो तुम जैसे पढ़ लिखे जाहिल जो लिबरल होते हैं ना, जो बाहर जाना चाहते हैं, जो अमेरिका को सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, no bro, none of that.
We chose to stay.
Bro, we're here.
हम निकल सकते थे.
Alhamdulillah, we are here. Yeah. Right? Please, we're on your side.
Yes.
We're on your side.
Yes. We still are. But like, these things have to be said.
Yeah, man.
These things have to be said. Kazi, वरना हम यही वही like I said earlier, आप आ जाए इलेक्शन कराते हैं, जीत जाए वापस, हम वापस यही square one पे again आएंगे.
Bro, देखो मजाक नहीं है ना, because some people square one में तो आ जाएंगे, some people lost their lives. You know, people got killed. Why? Because मतलब because the Islam that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, that required us to kill these people. That's why they lost their lives. I can't believe that. I can't.
And you know, that's the thing, like it hurts because you're killing in the name of religion. और जहाँ हमारे religion में बताया जाता है कि एक चूंटी को भी harm नहीं करना चाहिए, ठीक है, ये हमें बोला जाता है. हमें एक और चीज़ क्या बोली जाती है, हमें repeatedly बोलना चाहिए कि आपका दीन आपके पास है और आप दूसरे का दीन को हमें criticize भी करना allowed नहीं है. Like these things are not allowed, you know, like, and to respect other people's religions. This is all written हमारी scriptures में. ये कहाँ गया सारा? Like, और किसने बोला, किसने आपको मेडल दिया कि आप ज्यादा अच्छे मुसलमान होगे, आप बुरे मुसलमान हो? ये कौन? लाइक एंड these were like frightening things. These were frightening things which have been like happening, and like
you're playing with fire, dude. If you empower these people, na, you think empowering these people is safer than empowering your women? I think we have a few problems. Yeah, we have a few problems, dude.
We have like a lot of problems there and everything. I hope more people like at least like seeing us to have this conversation. I hope, man. Like,
yeah. Dude, like, देखो मेरी बात सुनो ना, आखिर में ना, this is what needs to be said. And ये जो moral policing और daddy issues वाली आपने बात की ना, the one thing that is characteristic of Pakistani men, of Pakistani people भी, लेकिन aunties who are enamored by the patriarchy and men.
Yes, दो categories.
Right? Is when someone's hurt and आप अपनी policing फिर भी नहीं छोड़ोगे. आपको चोट लगी. Say you stub your toe on this table. राइट, एंड आई एम इमीडिएटली बिलाल नहीं ऐसे नहीं, अपनी तकलीफ का इजहार ऐसे नहीं करना. काजी एक मिनट बैठ जाए जानी, मुझे चोट लगी, आपको नहीं लगी, मुझे लगी है ना, मैं जो भी बोल रहा हूँ, मैं गाली दे रहा हूँ, मैं कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ, मुझे बोलने दो. देयर विल बी टाइम फॉर अ कॉन्वर्सेशन बाद में. बिलाल, यू नो, मे बी यू शुडंट कस सो मच लेटर. राइट नाउ आई एम हर्टिंग,
हेल्प मी आउट.
उस वक्त डोंट लीव मी अलोन. जो आप लीव मी अलोन, राइट, जो आपके अंकल के साथ भी हुआ, जस्ट लीव मी अलोन राइट नाउ. उस वक्त immediately all of us jump to the front. Twitter हो, Instagram हो, कुछ भी हो, ये नहीं बोल सकते आप.
क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? Like देखो, यही मुझे जो लग रहा था कि like कि I was like, bro, because of your sins of your past which you did and everything, and like जो कुछ आपने किया, and that is your life experience, why are we paying for it? मेरा क्या कसूर है? मैंने क्या किया? बताओ like literally, ठीक है? I mean, जॉन स्नो वाला चाइल्ड तो आपका है ना, मैंने थोड़ी पैदा किया है, ठीक है?
कौन सा
जॉन स्नो नहीं, फीमेल है, ठीक. हाँ, like he has a child out of wedlock. Let's not pretend it does not happen. It does not happen.
I didn't know this.
No, he has a child out of wedlock.
Okay, all right.
Tyrion White, but like again, he has it, na, ठीक है?
So what's the problem?
The problem is then like the politicians and everything use it for moral policing on him. साफ सी बात है, ठीक है?
All right.
But my point being, let's not pretend it doesn't happen, and let's not pretend कि आपकी बड़ी साफ सुथरी जिंदगी थी पहले and everything, and you found God and everything. Like I repeat, and that's good for you, and वो सारा सब कुछ है, but because of all what you did, मेरा क्या कसूर है?
मेरा point of view opposite है. मेरा point of view ये है कि you've had this beautiful grand adventure of a life.
Yeah.
आपका जितना होराइजन एक्सपैंड हुआ है ना, आप मेरे से थोड़ी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो. मेरा इतना सा होराइजन है, तो मुझे आप प्यार से चलाओगे ना, या मुझे आप बोलोगे यार मैंने ये सब देख लिया, तो सच ये होता है, गलत ये होता है. यू विल हैव टू लेट मी गेट टू दैट कंक्लूजन माय सेल्फ.
ऑफ कोर्स,
यू नो, यू कैन टेक दैट फ्रॉम मी. अल्लाह ने मुझे दिया.
आप लाइक जबरदस्ती हाथ जो एक होता है ना, एक बच्चा होता है, जिद्दी बच्चा होता है, बस आप उस बच्चे की सुनी ना, बस वो घसीट ये हो रहा था लाइक लिटरली.
या बिकॉज द थिंग इज, अल्लाह ने बहरहाल तो मुझे ये जिंदगी दी है ना, तो आप हो गए या आपके फॉलोअर्स अगर मुझे ये बोलेंगे कि भाई नहीं, you're not a good Muslim, dude. How did you get to decide, man? You didn't get, you can't.
No, like tell me, like, is there like कोई वो है टेस्ट है, कोई कैटेगरी है कि 10 points is 9 points? And this is what and बताओ, यही होना शुरू हुआ था, and it has led to like frightening levels of violence. Like frightening levels of violence. I'm not saying that he was directly responsible for it, but he did empower those people. Or he failed to call them out.
There should have been a stronger like
or he was just too soft. And what did it lead to? जो एक बेचारी श्रीलंकन जो यहाँ मुल्क में, हमारे मुल्क में रोजी रोटी लगाने आया था, got lynched by a mob. Again, like I repeat, it's not him, but he was just very light about it, or just failed to condemn it, or
वही वाली बात है ना, the people
or just
the problem with it is people like us, right, who are on the other side कि हाँ ठीक है सही किया. Listen, violence does not really have a religion.
No.
ठीक है ना? They came for those people because वो सबसे ज़्यादा अलग लगते हैं. Sri Lankan person with their accent, with the way they looks different. What do you think is going to happen when they run out of different looking people? फिर आप और मैं ही बचेंगे. और फिर फिर हम
वो जो थी ना, जो like it's there's this poem and everything. They're like first they came for the Christians, I didn't speak up. They came for the Roma, I did not speak up. They came for the Christians, I did not speak up. And when they came for me, there was no one else left
to speak up. Yeah.
So like it's time we speak up.
Yeah, dude, you have to.
It's time.
And the speaking up doesn't have to be like सब कुछ गलत है, सब कुछ सही है.
नहीं.
Just understand that the other person is a person. That's it.
and the person has flaws. आपके अंदर भी flaws होंगे, मेरे अंदर भी flaws होंगे, and this is how humans are.
Yet I'm still processing this thing. He had a child out of wedlock. I didn't know this.
Yeah, he did, and the.
So, ठीक है ना bro.
But the tragic thing is like he has not, I think, publicly acknowledged it and everything, and then like the opposition politician, obviously he cannot, because, and then the opposition politicians use it as like a smear on him.
That's nonsense, man.
वो लोग भी like I said ना, वो भी next level है. ठीक है. जैसे अभी like जाके like यहाँ मसले चल रहे हैं, वो वहाँ जाके जो नून वाले हैं वो जमाइमा के घर के सामने जाके प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, and then उसको moral police कर रहे हैं, and then using all of this on him. It's a total shit show. Like it's a shit show.
You see that dude who's a representative of the PMLN, जो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बोल रहे थे कि अब अगर हमारे किसी भी क्या बोला था उन्हें, किसी भी हमारे मेंबर को या लीडर को कोई भी नारा बोला या कोई भी ऐसी बात बोली तो इससे भी बुरा होगा. Do we punch the guy in the? I was like, dude, please, come on.
देखो like वही बात है, आप बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकते हो, आपकी हर चीज़ बहुत अच्छी हो सकती है, एंड दिस रूल गोज फॉर पूरी दुनिया के अंदर कि द मोमेंट यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग वायलेंस और द मोमेंट यू लूज योर कूल एंड you have lost all respect. ऑस्कर्स पे क्या हुआ? विल स्मिथ को बेस्ट एक्टर अवार्ड मिला, जाके थप्पड़ लगा दिया, चम्मा लगा दिया. क्या हुआ? लाइक सारा जो आपका अच्छा जो काम था एंड एवरीथिंग. आई एम नॉट सेइंग जो क्रिस रॉक ने जोक मारा तो वो सही था, वो भी गलत था इन हिज प्लेस एंड एवरीथिंग, स्पेशली व्हेन यू नो दिस वुमन हैज एलोपेशिया एंड एवरीथिंग. आई मीन चलो शी इज बिन खैर लाइक व्हाटएवर, बट द थिंग इज इट्स लाइक अगर आपने किसी की मेडिकल कंडीशन पे आप जोक मारे हो तो थोड़ा वो है लाइक, एंड एज अ डॉक्टर आई कुड से लाइक हां यार
बट कॉमेडी
इज कॉमेडी. मगर पॉइंट बीइंग जहां आपने वायलेंस इस्तेमाल किया आपका कोई साथ नहीं देगा. साफ सी बात है, अगर आप याद करो कभी अगर कोई दावत होती है, ठीक है, आपके घर में कोई महफिल हो रही है, सब लोग हंस रहे हैं, बोल रहे हैं एवरीथिंग, एक अगर अंकल है वो कोई लड़ना शुरू हो जाए या वो पूरी महफिल की जो है ना मूड खराब कर देते हैं, या अगर कोई बॉयज का कोई हैंग आउट है एंड एवरीथिंग और दो बॉयज लड़ पड़े, ठीक है, हमेशा या कोई क्रिकेट में खेल रहे, फुटबॉल में खेल लड़ पड़े, किसी ने सर फोड़ दिया, बस वो इंस्टेंटली वो जो बंदा है जिसने वो करा होता है वो ब्लैकलिस्ट हो जाता है. अब लाइक एंड इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक विदाउट बीइंग saying much, it's like everyone just like यार उसको मत बुलाना यार.
It's that tribe mentality, ना कि bro you just like you have to preserve the peace.
यार वो माहौल खराब कर देता है, वो माहौल खराब, and that is what has been happening en masse in Pakistan. Like लोग आते हैं बस माहौल पे माहौल खराब करे जा रहे हैं, and then like and I feel like people like us जो हैं we're like यार
please just don't resort to violence, come on. Just take a breath man, please. देखो आप, वो एक बुढ़ा आदमी था, उसको आपने पंच मारा. This dude is huge. जिस बंदे ने पंच मारा था, I was like, did you kill him? Like, cause oh man, it was a solid punch also. It was a solid punch.
Appreciate.
Yeah, appreciate. तो क्या वो बुढ़ा आदमी था?
I mean, appreciate the technique.
Yeah, the technique was good. Technique was good. But like आप प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस पे आके बोल रहे हो सबके साथ ये होगा, जमाइमा खान के घर के सामने जाके, come on.
और वो लंदन में बैठी है.
Yeah. Like, you think she's not done with this?
I think she should be done.
She's beyond done with this.
I think she's beyond done.
She's beyond done.
She's like, and जमाइमा बहुत like एक और चीज which I'm gonna add, like काफी like जन्नती खातून है in the sense. Since you don't know about this, I will fill you in on the gossip and everything. She takes care of his child and everything. Tyrion का वो ख्याल रखती है.
Oh my goodness,
and yeah,
man.
like if you look on the Instagram and everything, she's hanging out with Imran Khan के जो बेटे and everything. She treats her like अपनी बेटी and everything. So like it's यार क्रेडिट वेयर क्रेडिट इज ड्यू, बहुत अच्छी खातून है और हमारे और ये पाकिस्तान में होता लेट मी ऐड दिस, ये पाकिस्तान में होता किसी की लाइक एक्स हस्बैंड का एक इलिजिटिमेट चाइल्ड होता, आई कैन नॉट इमेजिन अ पाकिस्तानी वुमन टेकिंग केयर ऑफ, शी'd be like get this child out of my life and everything, not to like वो
generalize
but not like but and not Pakistani women, it's our culture. It's our culture where because चलो वो बेचारी ख्याल करना कोशिश भी करे, she feels for her like माँ की तरह and everything, अकेली and everything, हमारे लोग ही कहते हैं अरे यार तुम ऐसे उसका ख्याल कर रही हो तुम.
वही वाली बात है ना कि हमने अपनी we're making so many generalizations, but again वही वाला मसला है ना कि we will literally judge everything. But that's how except whatever we see in the mirror, क्योंकि हम तो perfect है ना, हम best हैं. ब्रो हम इतने बेस्ट हैं कि आपकी सोच हम कितने बेस्ट हैं. मैं जब रोज़ा रखता हूँ ना बिलाल, तो मैं पूरे पाकिस्तान पे एहसान कर रहा होता हूँ रोज़ा रख के. रोज़ा मैंने अपने लिए रखा, अल्लाह मियाँ से मैं अपनी माफ़ी मांगने के लिए नहीं, पूरे पाकिस्तान के रोजा
यार
रखो।
ये
मैं जब नमाज पढ़ता हूँ ना बिलाल, पूरा रोड बंद हो जाना चाहिए, मैं नमाज पढ़ रहा हूँ।
ये हर रोज लिटरली हर रोज जिम में होता है, हर रोज, because I go to work out right before, like
Where do you go work out?
I go to Pulse,
So it's good, huh?
Pulse चंकी मंकी के अंदर,
Yeah,
ठीक है,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I go there, ठीक है, एडवर्टाइज, ठीक है, so Pulse जाना, अच्छे लोग हैं यार वहाँ। तो खैर वहाँ हमेशा जो होते हैं ना, कोई एक अंकल होते हैं जिनका मूड खराब होता है, like, and you're like, can you like give me the machine, or like, or can we like alternate, you know, like your camaraderie and everything, you know, like हम alt कर लेते हैं। नहीं ब्रो मेरा रोजा है, तो आप एहसान मार रहे हैं मेरे ऊपर कि आपका रोजा है, और ये
वर्कआउट करने
या नहीं आए ना आए, लाइक शाम में खा पी कर आ जाए जब अच्छा मूड हो, या अजीब मूड दिखा रहे हैं, यू लाइक ब्रो आप रोजा अपने लिए रख रहे हो, लाइक क्यों, किस पे एहसान मार रहे हो?
पता है क्या, आई थिंक in terms of gym etiquette ना, generally, so I told you last time also, my brother wants to, he is a gym trainer, he's an athletics trainer, and he wants to open a good proper performance based gym, right? One of his pet peeves, one of his primary pet peeves that he's still not able to get over, that I think I'm better with now because I've been back longer than him, Abir, in Pakistan, is people don't put their weights back. I'm like, अभी आप समझते नहीं हो, आप समझते नहीं हो, यहाँ पे it's a shit show, and I'll say, I'll tell you why. Creek Club में मैं workout कर रहा था, this is 2011. I met this power lifter, अब वो पता नहीं देखते भी होंगे नहीं देखते होंगे, उस वक्त he was like 41 years old, तैमूर भाई। Bilal, उस वक्त when I tell you he was bench pressing 200 kilos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he was a proper power lifter. ना ये मजाक नहीं कि वो 100 किलो बेंच मारा चौड़े हो गए, नहीं 200 किलो की बेंच लगा रहे थे। मतलब पूरा जो था ना बेंच बार, हम सब कांप रहे थे कि यार इनको स्पॉट कौन करेगा? Guess what the other uncles complained about?
Yeah, what?
ये बहुत ज़्यादा वजन उठा रहे हैं, हमारे लिए प्लेटें नहीं बचती हैं। प्लेटों के साथ क्या करना था अंकल ने? हमने पूछा, he wanted to do quarter squats. Bro, quarter squat. That's Pakistan.
That is
Pakistani gym etiquette in a nutshell.
And yeah, look, like Pulse is it's a very good gym in the sense, like, and like a lot of celebrities and all these people come over there.
Sure.
Yeah, काफी like वो tish tosh वाला like वाला
मैं भी पहुंचता हूँ।
लाडी डा crowd काफी आते रहते हैं, but अगर ये आवाम re-rack नहीं कर रही होती तो like आप सोच लें आम जिम का क्या हाल है। I feel like it was like my third day where I was there. I like literally went. I was that person who went and complained. I went and complained, and I complained out of frustration because I was like, यार मैं like इस पॉइंट ऑफ फिटनेस पे आ गया जहाँ मैं कह रहा हूँ यार अब मैं खर्चा करके अच्छे जिम में जाऊँगा, यू नो, लाइक पहले तो लाइक आई जस्ट गो टू जिम खाना, मेरी फैमिली की मेंबरशिप थी इस्तेमाल कर लेता, बट आई वाज लाइक यू नो व्हाट, लाइक आई फील लाइक अब जो ना बॉय को गेम थोड़ी अप कर लेनी चाहिए, सो आई वाज लाइक अब खर्चा करके जाएंगे, एंड लाइक दिस वाज माय थर्ड डे देयर, एंड आई वाज लाइक व्हाई डोंट पीपल री-रैक देयर वेट्स? अच्छा एक और चीज़ भी होती है, री-रैक तो खैर दूर की बात, जो एक और चीज़ विच फ्रस्ट्रेट्स द शिट आउट ऑफ मी इज लाइक अगर कोई होगा जिसको सपोज करो एक कोई वेट यूज़ करना है, उसको एक डम्बेल यूज़ करनी है फॉर सम वन एक्सरसाइज, यूज इट नियर द नहीं वो उठाएंगे वो अक्रॉस नियर द ट्रेडमिल, कुछ आई डोंट नो उसके साथ को गॉबलेट स्क्वाट कुछ करे होंगे, बट चलो कर लो, आईना होता है उनको देखना होता है, वापस आके रख दो, सो
सॉरी
नहीं वो वहीं पड़ा होगा। सो अक्सर होता है लाइक आप एक कोई चीज़ करो, लाइक आपको प्रेस मारना है या आपको कुछ करना है, आपको एक मिल जाएगा, फिर जाएं हाइड एंड सीक खेलें, आप ढूंढें दूसरा, इट कैन बी एनीवेयर, इट कैन लिटरली बी एनीवेयर, इट कुड बी बिहाइंड द ट्रेडमिल, इट कुड बी इन द लेग्स एरिया, और लाइक या तो कुछ नहीं तो कुछ कोई बंदा जो शावर्स में, आई डोंट नो, या आई हैव वंस फाउंड एन 8 किलो डम्बेल, ट्रू स्टोरी, जहाँ लोग नमाज पढ़ रहे थे, आई वाज लाइक आई डोंट नो व्हाई दिस पर्सन उठा के ले गया साथ में, ब्रो अभी मैं असर की नमाज पढ़ूं तक कोई
उसके बाद बाइसेप कर्ल जल्दी से
यहीं, लाइक आई वाज लाइक ये क्या हो रहा है, लाइक ये हमारी आवाम है यार, एटिकेट दूसरों का तो सोचो यार।
And the thing is, people who can afford to go to Pulse are by any means privileged. They're
course,
well-off people.
the privileged of the privileged.
Yeah, they're well-off people.
Yeah.
तो ये आप मुझे नहीं बोलोगे कि यार I didn't have time to read. Dude, please. Time is a commodity and you have spades.
Yeah.
You know, workout कम कर लो, जो भी करना है कर लो, लेकिन be considerate.
2 सेकंड लगते हैं.
Bro, 2 सेकंड.
2 सेकंड लगते हैं यार.
And वो जो एक और चीज़ होती है, I have experienced this at function. Function भी यहीं पे ना बदर पे. A boy है, he's doing something, he's doing a back exercise, right? And then he needed to go flirt with someone or whatever. जो होता है, हाँ ठीक है. अब वो वहाँ पे जो है पिछले आधे घंटे से 4 प्लेटें लगा के बैठा है. And I'm just like, bro मैं yeah, you know, मतलब, and he's like, I'm using it. आखिर में I got very curt with this person. अच्छा, this is the other thing. Then when you become curt with them, then they whimper. Either they want to fight you, but most of the time they're like, oh bro, क्यों serious क्यों हो रहा है यार, आप time ज़ाया कर रहे हो लोगों का जानी.
Yeah, like because
First off, you're being toxic because this lady who's working out probably doesn't want you to flirt with her.
No.
You know, वो एक और बात है. You know, like mind her space also. But चलो वो उनका आपका मसला है, unless she needs me to. एक और बात है, right? ये क्या कर रहे हो आपने? ये setup किया हुआ है, bro. मुझे करना है.
यार, this is like one of my biggest like frustrations. यही like exactly like bench पे look, साफ सी बात है, आपको flirt करना है, good for you, जाएं जरूर करें and everything. If it's consensual, good for you. ठीक है, जरूर करें. But happy, go for it. But रिस्पेक्ट अदर पीपल्स टाइम ऑल्सो. जैसे हमारे होते हैं लाइक वो बेंच पे बैठ जाएंगे एंड एवरीथिंग और वो गप्पा शप्पा सब लग रही होगी एंड एवरीथिंग इज लाइक हे ब्रो आई नीड टू यूज द बेंच. आई वाज लाइक या ब्रो लाइक एक सेकंड ब्रो, लाइक एक सेकंड क्या वो गप्पा शप्पा चल रही है. झूठ भी बोले जा रहे हैं लाइक इन द सेंस कि लाइक उनको ट्रेनिंग एडवाइस दे रहे हैं. He's like yeah bro, like I'm natural. I'm natural man. I'm natural. I was like you are not natural. I'm a doctor. those veins coming from like these random, that is not natural.
उनका जॉ जो होता है मेरे पूरे बूथे से ज्यादा बड़ा होता है. Like natural bro.
It's like yeah bro,
मैं 13 साल का हूँ.
I'm not. और वो चलती like ऐसे like they literally just like I was like it's like हट जा यार, हट जा.
ऐसे देख bro, पता है क्या? I have no problem with steroids. I have no zero.
I don't either. But I have be honest. Honest. अगर लेते हो बता दो. अगर लेते हो बता दो. जैसे एक
don't lie to me.
There's so many like people on the internet like जो who I follow and everything. Like आपका Greg Doucette है, आपका Ronnie Coleman and everything. लोग admit करते हैं, ठीक है. और वो कहते हैं हाँ हम लेते हैं.
Bro, The Rock, Joe Rogan, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
वो जो है CBM जो है जो एक और I don't know his name, Chris Bumstead, ठीक है. जो Mr. Olympia and everything. These people admit it. Of course. बोलते हैं. The point being you are misleading people.
That's it.
You are misleading them. जब आप बोल रहे हो कि या you know this body is all natty and natural and everything,
that's a lie, bro.
आप मुझसे झूठ बोल रहे हो because and इसकी वजह से क्या होगा कि हाँ मैं करता रहूंगा, मैं आप जो आप मुझे ऊट पटांगे एक्सरसाइज बताएंगे मैं सब कर लूंगा नहीं, but if I do not get that result in the end मैं सब डाइट शाइट सब फॉल मगर I'm not looking like that and everything. हाँ genetics does come into play and shit but still you know
still, bro.
but you're like
मतलब एक मिनट
सच बोल दो.
you're all
I respect people जो बता देते हैं.
Bro, सबको बताना चाहिए. I think it should be a requirement because here's the thing, right? You're roided out of your mind. You're wearing an extra small t-shirt, right? आपको सांस नहीं आ रही है और आप 13, 14, 15 साल के बच्चों को बोल रहे हो कि आप सिर्फ मेरी डाइट फॉलो करो, 8 अंडे खा लो तो आप ऐसे हो जाओगे. What? Like, I think it is so unfortunate कि we just don't have enough information, don't have enough education about calisthenic awareness or physicality. कि हमारे बच्चे जो होते हैं, you know, young men, who else are they going to look up to physically?
Of course.
You know, so they go to these gym trainers and gym trainer जो है instead of teaching them a pull up is like front pulley लगा लो, instead of teaching them a push up they're like bench press लगा लो. Like that's what happened to me initially.
We've all been there.
Yeah, initially for the first couple of years I was only made to do exercise that I was strong in. I couldn't do a pull up for the longest time.
नहीं.
That's horrible.
And you know यही वाली बात है कि जब मुझे पता चला था कैलिस्थेनिक्स की इम्पोर्टेंस कितनी है, I mean I was like I wish someone told me about this
sooner. I mean
L-sit किधर से सीखी है मैंने तो इसी सीखी because मैंने कैलिस्थेनिक्स कुछ खुद ही देखता था मैं. इनफैक्ट मैं like ये जो गुल है जो बाबर I would just look at his stories. मैंने कहा यार I want to try doing this.
Dude, you know, by the way, he's insane.
He's insane.
He is insane.
पागल है. गुल तुम पागल हो.
गुल आप पागल है, लेकिन I will tell you this. You're too nice to lead a rebellion against these people. Gul is too nice.
Gul is not nice. Play football with him. Go play football with him one day. Gul is not nice.
Acha.
Vanna Gul is very, very nice. Just good on the football pitch. Oh. Gul, if you're listening to this.
Or Gul training you.
No, Gul like I went to him once like for calisthenics. He was yeah, he's very honest. He'll tell you.
Bro, मुझे मसल अप कराया था. I have never felt so bullied.
Yeah.
He was like, ये क्या? पता नहीं क्या? He was like, ये क्या? Do you expect me to congratulate you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like so.
अपने ख्याल में आप बड़ी like.
मसल अप किया मैंने.
मसल पुल अप कर सकता हूँ. So, but I would look at that and I would look, you know what, Joe? And that's what I came to the realization that it should be a mix. You should have body weight and you should do weights also.
Yeah.
ये आपको यहाँ चीजें नहीं बताई जाती.
Because again वही वाली बात है.
यहाँ बस वही वाली बॉडी चाहिए ना.
Bro, पता है that's a serious problem. Honestly, and I don't know how to fix it. लेकिन even मैं पल्स नहीं गया हूँ कभी भी. But I can bet money कि some of the trainers there, some of the people who are leading the classes there, are misleading you, man. are straight up misleading you.
Yes, some, yes. But some of them are like great in the sense they're very honest. ठीक है? Because they compete.
Yeah.
They compete in everything. वो आपको बता देते हैं ये like हाँ नहीं ये कर. And they'll tell you. They'll tell you and everything. अगर आप you talk to them. Some of them are very misleading in everything and like you're like, bro, मैं doctor हूँ.
That's it.
मैं बता सकता हूँ.
That's it, bro. Like, because again, people will see, but then the thing is, because the lines become so blurred, you've had a mashallah say great fitness transformation, all those things. People see you, they'll be like, फिर तुमने भी steroids लिया होगा? नहीं, bro. नहीं. See, people. And
साथ से मेरे साथ ये like if you ask me like हाँ what supplements do you take, I will say मैंने कहा हाँ whey लिया है, creatine लिया है. I will tell you all that. Steroid नहीं, मैंने नहीं लिया. अभी तक तो नहीं लिया है.
Bro, you know what? If a doctor could administer, मैं ये जो है पहले भी आपको बोला हुआ है, but I didn't say it on the podcast. If I could find a doctor who would do it for me, I'd be interested, man.
I feel like, look, साफ सी बात है, if you want that physique and everything and that वाली बात, like, and in a controlled environment and everything, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But like in Pakistan, I'm just like,
is it pure stuff?
I don't even know इसमें क्या मिला हुआ है.
Exactly.
I don't even know क्या है.
Imagine me just not getting any gains except like, I have all the energy in the world.
All the energy. And so much rage.
Yeah,
so much rage. So much rage. इतना गुस्सा होता है. I was like, गुस्सा क्यों है यार?
All the time.
I'm daddy, bro. I'm daddy, bro. I was like, bro, where's all this anger coming from, daddy, bro?
They're crying, and then I'm just crying. Roid rage jo hoti hai.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel on it. And the thing is, I have been saying this to Muiz a lot as well. मैं उनको भी यही बोलता हूँ कि I know you think you need to speak to women. I know you think you need to speak to trans folk. You do. To queer folk, you do. But I think the people who really need us to talk to them are young men.
Yes. 100%.
People who really need, because देखो, who are the loudest members of our society? Young men.
Because privilege सबसे ज़्यादा है.
Privilege. Who are the members who wield and weaponize their privilege the most? Young men. Yeah. So who then?
And where do you get the most hate from online internet? Young men, 13, 14-year-old boys who will send you the गंदी गालियाँ जो आएंगी, गंदी सी 13-14 साल के बच्चे होंगे, लड़के. Like you're like,
ब्रो उनकी मूछ भी नहीं आई होगी. कभी उनको बोलो मुंह पे आके देखें तो सही.
यार like मूछ क्या, like उनके टेस्टिस भी गिरे नहीं है नीचे, ठीक है? They have not gone puberty, like, and you're like, where is all this anger coming from?
Yeah, and why do you hate me? But so I don't know if you were on this live. You know, I do lives raat mein whenever, because I can't sleep and stuff. So I was doing a live, and this one kid, give me a blowjob. I'm like, acha. You know, he's just like, give me a blow. Kazi bhai, give me a blowjob.
Respectfully, please.
Right? And उस वक्त पता नहीं क्यों मेरा मूड खराब था. Usually I'll just block them, which is what you're supposed to do, right? Block them, whatever. I got worked up. So I was like, मेरे साथ live आ जाओ. वो आ गया. He comes live with me and I ask him this. I'm like, have you ever actually copulated in your life? Do you know what it feels like? He's like, no. I'm like, okay. You said this to me. Why did you say that? What did you feel was going to happen? Yeah. He's like, वो मैंने ऐसे ही बोल दिया. I'm like, and has anyone ever responded to you? He's like, no. I'm like, do you do it for a response? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay. So now this is the most amount of response I can give you to take you live with me on Instagram. Did you get what you wanted? He was quiet. An immediate antagonism. He's like, आपने live लिया क्यों? मैंने बोला, bro, वो पर
इनका typical होता है.
Yeah, आपने live लिया क्यों? क्या मसला है? Thing is, I think we have become alienated from consequences. I really think that's the thing.
Alienated but जहाँ आप consequences पर आओ, that and it has to come and यही जो segment of society को call out कौन कर सकता है? हम ही कर सकते हैं. साफ सी बात है. That is what it is. And that is how privilege works in this country. कि unfortunately ये वाली बात है जहाँ हमें ही call out करना पड़ेगा इनको, क्योंकि ये हमारी ही शायद सुने. क्योंकि बाकी segments को तो ये कहेंगे you know वाली बात है. ये औरत है, ये trans, ये वाली बात है. हाँ ये they will, but it's like when people like us will call them out. I don't know if they listen or everything, but at least मुझे ये पता है कि कहीं I can make them feel something.
Yeah, because they can resonate. And to some degree, they have the same dreams that we do, na man. You know.
The thing is, जैसे with whole जब औरत मार्च शुरू हुआ था over here, and this is also something which I feel like we've all learned along the way, and I'll elaborate on this. Initially, like I would go like as an ally, and I would also cover it. And I would cover it from the perspective of a man talking to other men to tell them why this is important.
I think that's essential, man.
Why? Like my post जो मैं करता था was not targeted to women. It was not. I was doing it from the perspective of a man talking to other men and younger boys specifically as to why you should also be supporting this, why this is important for Pakistan. That's how my posts would go. And I would get like the most vicious, the most vile comments from these young boys, like छोटे बच्चे. Khair, I continued doing it for like 2-3 years. मैं करता था. इस साल I coincidentally fell sick on that day, and I'd actually even planned beforehand not to go. So now this is where things get a bit complex. Just say I listened to one podcast. It was by Karachi Khatmal, I think, Emma Naqvi ka tha. And it was a very interesting thing which he said, which I was like, okay, this makes sense. And it's also like, it gets complex in the sense he's like men should not call themselves feminists. And he elaborated on this. He's like, agar you should be an ally, a very good ally. You should support women who are talking about feminist issues, but men should not title themselves as feminists, because जब आप अपने आप को feminist बोल देते हो, especially in a country like Pakistan, जो space है ना औरतों का, आप वो ले लेते हो. आप सीधी लाइन में आके बिलाल हसन को आगे खड़ा कर देते हैं. ठीक है, इनको खड़ा कर देंगे आके. ठीक है. सो मैं नोट करता था कि जो भी मैं पोस्ट करता था औरत मार्च के ऊपर, इट वुड गो इनसेनली वायरल, बिकॉज ओ या ये तो मर्द बोल रहा है एवरीथिंग इनसेनली. बट उसमें जो डबल एज सॉर्ड थी, द वॉइसेस ऑफ द पीपल, द वुमेन हु दे वर गेटिंग स्टिफर. ठीक है. एंड द पॉइंट जो मेरी रियलाइजेशन थी कि oh shit, I'm taking up space.
That's it.
I'm taking up space and I should not be doing this.
Yeah.
While yes, I should be talking and addressing younger boys and I should be doing that in my own way, in my own time, but ये जो space है, ये जो औरत march and everything, already इतना marginalized वो है, movement है. For me to step in and go like, hey, hi, I'm Mr. Paki, I'm feminist, I will talk about this issue and everything.
Yeah.
It is wrong. It is wrong because then मैंने अपने आप को, मुझे automatically पता है मैं लाइन में आगे खड़ा हो जाऊंगा.
Like super interesting, dude.
And वो सबसे पहले मुझे लाइन में मुझे खड़ा कर देंगे. मगर जो queer folk हैं, जो trans folk हैं, जो women हैं over there, all of them who are talking about important issues and their important struggles and things that they're going in life and everything, उनकी तो
वही back of the line,
मैंने back of the line, मैंने सारा space ले लिया. Mr. Paki ने सारा space ले लिया. So and I was like, whoa, इसने बहुत गहरी बात करी है.
Profound, dude.
And so beforehand मैंने ये decision कर लिया था. मैंने कहा, okay, even if I go, I will go as an ally. In the sense के if my sister is going or like a friend is going, I will go with them. Probably story worry and all that stuff, but I will not do like a post or something. Maybe not even a story. Probably no content. I will share their stuff on my page.
That's it.
Because I want to use my platform to amplify their voices.
Inshallah, yeah.
You know. Yeah. So ये मैंने and future में भी यही इरादा है, because and I feel like when I come down to this, it's like I felt like I have learned this over the period of time. Do I regret covering it initially? No, I don't, because I feel like उस time पे वो भी जरूरी था, because I had to talk to the boys. उनसे बात करनी जरूरी थी.
But देखो, we're developing our thought processes about this as we go along. There is no, you did not get a manual.
No, नहीं.
हमें शुरू से नहीं समझता. And we're all only learning. We will continue to learn, inshallah. But I think ये जो आपने बात की, that's super necessary for everyone to hear. We have a habit of hijacking narratives.
Yes.
As men.
Yes.
Where और कुछ नहीं तो एक performative वो तो होता है. हाँ यार.
नहीं, and performative और साथ साथ आपको पता है, because this is something which gets clicks, it will get you clout and everything. So एकदम से like आपको जो ना औरत मार्च के दौरान आपको सारे boys नजर आ रहे हैं, और वही boys पोस्टर पकड़े हुए हैं and everything. What is the point of it? अगर आप वो कर रहे हो, like, if you're going there as a guy, the least you can do is amplify the voices of the women there. उनकी तस्वीरें लो ना, उनके पोस्टर की लो, उन्होंने क्या बोला है, क्या इशू पे, आप अपना पैराग्राम क्यों करके बैठे हुए वहाँ. ठीक है.
Today only, वही वाली बात. Today only, I had a friend tell me about her horrendous experience on the 3rd Aurat March, where she was harassed. Proper. My thing is, अगर इतने सारे मर्द पहुंचे हुए हैं, तो गाइज आप रोको ना इस चीज को.
Of course.
तो फिर ये तो नहीं होना चाहिए ना. इतने सारे allies पहुंचे हुए अगर,
allies,
तो ये करो ना ब्रो, इसको रोको ना. आप अपने वो Instagram लगाने के लिए पूरे हो. You're not here for the cause, man.
Then you're not here.
You're here for the
cookies.
Being
honest.
You're here for the cookies and the milk, and that's great, but you're not here for the cause. I'm sorry.
And that is what is unfortunate. And so yeah, that's like the whole realization that I've had through this, where I was like, where I've had to even think about, how can I be a better ally? And I feel like all guys in this country should question this. How can I be a better ally? And again, there is no manual for this. There's no manual. But you have to figure it out.
Yeah, you do. And also, I think it starts with an open conversation. Space, the kind of pressure we exert on a public space is just so different, visibly different from the way a female, a lone group of females, or just a lone female, the kind of pressure she exerts on a public space is so different. And they're so nuanced. Everything's so nuanced, ना कि ये अगर आप चीज़ मद्देनजर रखते हुए नहीं चलोगे, you will miss the plot. Bazokat, you'll be like, yeah, why are women so angry, dude? Because they live under threat all the time. You know?
And this is something which I say to people. I was like, you know what? Just go to one march. Just go to one march and just start reading the placards. Just up and go with a blank slate.
Yeah.
Kuch mat sochna, everything that you've seen in the media, forget everything. Just go start reading the placards. आपको पता चलेगा क्या myriad of problems है. पाकिस्तान में तो unfortunately लोगों ने इक्वेट ये किया कि औरत मार जाएं, liberals हैं, जाके बस नंगा होना, कपड़े उतारने, इनके दिमाग में ये है, ठीक है. This is what they think is feminism. This is what they think. But when you go there and you learn and you're like, ये भी होता है, ये भी होता है, ये भी होता है, ये भी होता है, and then you realize कि आदमियों ने कितना स्पेस इस मुल्क में लिया हुआ है. सारा स्पेस लिया है. और यहाँ जो है इतना सा भी है कि जो स्पेस लेने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, एंड आई से कोशिश बिकॉज दे आर ऑलवेज फाइटिंग फॉर इट, यहाँ भी हम घुस गए.
Bro, मेरी बात सुन ना. We all have that one friend, and that one friend is all of us who goes into a room and is the loudest person in the room.
Yeah.
Loudest, biggest person in the room.
And like, मेरी बात सुनो.
हाँ यार, देख तो मैं ये बात करता हूँ, वहाँ पे दो और लोग बैठे हुए कोई और बात कर रहे हैं. Now I need them to also see me. That kind of narcissism, wholesale narcissism, is something most men are enamored by, unfortunately.
It's en masse in Pakistan.
Yeah,
en masse.
Allah Rahm kare.
And unfortunately, it's a very majoritarian view.
Yeah.
It is a very majoritarian view. And if you call these people out and everything, they're like, बदतमीज हो रहे हो. I was like, I'm not being बदतमीज or anything.
बदतमीज हो रहे हो या क्या दूसरे क्या बोलते हैं?
तुम्हारे मुंह में बहुत बड़ी तुम्हारी ज़बान आ गई है.
Feminist हो रहे हो या you're just trying to get into someone's pants. It's all those things.
Yeah. Like in my family and everything, like this one relative of mine, like.
यार आपके relatives पिछले podcast में भी आपके relatives are not good people, man.
Yeah, some of them are not. Some of them are pretty terrible.
Come on, guys.
Some of them are pretty.
Come on, guys. What's all this?
Hey, you gotta call them out, man.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty like, like जब मैं like दूसरे औरत मार्च पे जब मैं जा रहा था कवर करने, so I made it like clear that I'm gonna go cover this and everything. And this relative of mine called me and he's like, oh, तो तुम जा रहे हो?
They called you. Khas called me out for dessert शाम में to hang out with me. This is how the plan was. And no, there was no context of why they want to hang out. They're like, oh, we just miss you, want to hang out with you and everything. This is how terrible they are. ठीक है? So and we came, we met and everything. He's like, oh, तुम्हें क्या dessert खाना है? I was like, ये खाना. What'd you eat?
I had like a chocolate cake and everything. Yeah, no healthy. Yeah. I wasn't even being healthy then. So that was pre-fitness. Pre-fitness. I think शायद 2 खाए होंगे. So and then like I ordered like a mocha coffee or something. मुनासिब बैठा था and everything. पूरा mall वाला. I was like, oh, we're chilling, we're catching up and shit. And then from the get-go, goes like, तो तुम औरत मार्च पे जा रहे हो कल? I was like, हाँ, मैं जाऊँगा. He's like, तो अगर तुम औरत मार्च पे जा रहे हो तो इसका मतलब तुम चाहते हो कि पूरे पाकिस्तान में abortion legal हो जाए. I was like, where the fuck is this coming from? And दूसरी बात, like I collected myself.
Yeah, you have to.
I collected myself and then I was like, देखें. I was like, आप मर्द है ना? हाँ. He's like, क्या मतलब है तुम्हारा? I was like, हाँ, आप him ना? He's like, क्या मतलब तुम्हारा? I was like, इनको समझ ही नहीं आता मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ. मैं कहा देखें, no uterus, no opinion. आपका नहीं, तो आपको opinion होना चाहिए, ठीक है? और अब abortion तो मैंने कहा ना आपका opinion होना चाहिए इसके ऊपर, ना मेरा opinion होना चाहिए, ठीक है?
One of the more aggressive responses to that is, are you concerned that if abortion was legal, your mother would have gotten one?
And then I brought in the medical point of view. I brought in the medical point of view. I was like, देखें जैसा से जितना मैंने पढ़ा है अपना jurisprudence के अंदर, मैंने कहा जहाँ माँ, and like I was like, now I'm going to bring in medical jargon, so I need to shut this man up, ठीक है? I was like, देखिए जहाँ medical जो shit है कि जहाँ माँ की जान को खतरा होता है वहाँ अबॉर्शन पाकिस्तान में अलाउड है, या बच्चे की जान को खतरा है वहाँ भी अलाउड है. सो अगर आपको लग रहा है कि पाकिस्तान में नहीं है, मैंने कहा लाइंस काफ़ी ब्लर्ड है. ही वाज लाइक
बट औरत मार्च गलत है.
औरत मार्च ये तो अच्छा नहीं, सॉरी आई फॉरगॉट. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. ही वाज लाइक तुम्हें फंडिंग कहाँ से मिल रही है?
Oh no, dude.
I was like, I wish I was funded,
But,
man.
bro.
Somebody fund me, please.
Bro,
fund me.
people don't understand. Yeah, you like please, dude. I wish I was. No, I don't wish I was funded. I wish I was funded by the Pakistani government.
Like,
I want to be funded by the Pakistani.
Yeah, man, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be nice to be financially acknowledged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all I want. पता है क्या? That's what I want. I want कि हाँ क्या कहेगा काजी का रेड है ना सारा ग्रीन हो जाएगा.
Yeah.
सारा ग्रीन हो जाएगा. I just want a couple of monies, a little bit of monies. I want. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Like, so like it was, and but the point is like I don't blame him because he is in this ecosystem, in this ecosystem of WhatsApp forwards, in this ecosystem of these random like Hakikat TVs and all this stuff, and these random fake news factories and everything, and they will believe that.
Yeah.
They will believe that. And I invited him. I was like, you know what? Like,
आप भी चलो.
I was like, you should come with me tomorrow. It was like I'd like emasculated him.
Obviously, he didn't go.
Like, obviously he didn't go because he was like fixed in his okay, yehi hota hai and everything. And the sad बात is like his wife also, like वो जैसा हमने कहा था ना जो एक पैट्रियार्की के allies होते हैं and everything, वो भी वही है ना, ये गंदी औरतें होती हैं, सारी गंदी औरतें.
Bilal, I have literally seen women weaponize patriarchy.
Yes.
I was trying to tell this to a person today also, and she was like, I was like, यार मैंने बाकायदा ख़वातीन को देखा है where they weaponized patriarchy against other women, and they have done it with impunity.
I mean, how many times have we seen in Pakistan when a man gets called out for sexual harassment and then women come out in support for him, like in famous circles and everything.
Yeah, famous
and they're
circles.
like, मगर मेरे साथ तो नहीं हुआ था ऐसा, मगर he was nice to me, bitch. That does not mean like he was nice to you, it did not happen to other people. You are invalidating them. Just shut up, man.
Yeah, उस वक्त नहीं बात करो. And ये देखो यार, I'm not saying that there are not bad faith actors in terms of women.
I don't deny that.
ख़वातीन भी होती हैं.
No, like we are saying with the Johnny Depp wala, if you're following that and everything. Yeah, so yeah, that's quite like, but point being, yes, it does. Like,
yeah, that's and to watch him, it was heartbreaking, dude.
ऐसे होते हैं cases and everything, but point being, just by saying आपके साथ नहीं हुआ, मेरे साथ नहीं हुआ, मेरे साथ सही था and everything, जिस बंदी के साथ हुआ है and everything, आप उसका pain आप पूरा वो ख़त्म कर रहे हो and everything. बेहतर है आप कुछ भी ना बोलो.
That's it. Hold space for them, जो बात होती है ना.
Yes.
Which is become a
at
cliche.
least the least you can do is be an ally with them.
Yeah.
Like, so ये पाकिस्तान में बहुत मसला है. Like,
you have, mashallah से, आपने पिछले साल का बोला, you have come to prominence in terms of, you know, now coming on TV and billboards and all this stuff. How's that been? Like in terms of the people that you have to deal with, marketing agencies and stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah. We're going there.
Yeah, we're going there. You know, it's 50-50. Honestly speaking, it's 50-50. Some are absolute nightmare to deal with. But like one advice that I have for people like who would like to, like, you know, like even like if they get these opportunities and they're like, hey, you know, how should I navigate it? One thing is like, always stand your ground. And this is one thing which I try to stand my ground. Like कई दफ़ा होती हैं, like I understand if you're working with a brand, they want something specific. ठीक है, it's like हमारे ये इसको बेचना है आपको, ठीक है, and that's, I understand, that's why they're hiring me. But at the same time, I try to keep my individuality in the sense कि मैंने कहा, wait, you want me to do it like this? Can I do it like that? And can we find a middle ground and everything? शुरू में बहुत नहीं ऐसे नहीं बहुत rigid होते, but you have to do that. एक दूसरी बात ये होती है payment. Oh my God, that and they are some of them are really terrible about it. Like बोलते 60 days हैं कि like 60 days में आपकी clear हो जाएगी, ठीक है, वो कभी कभार 90-120 पे भी चले जाता है and everything. So what I make it a point and like never shy away from asking for what you're owed. Never shy away from that. You are owed for it. आपने काम किया है. You're like, hey, you know, ये हो गया है, ठीक है. Be respectful, but you need to like stand your ground. And दूसरी बात एक और चीज़ है, if you want to, it's maintain a good relationship with them ताकि you also end up getting more work and everything. while it's also frustrating, you like वही वाली बात है, you always have to keep your cool. You always have to keep your cool.
That's super difficult.
And it's very difficult because some of times they can be frustrating.
Oh yeah, they are बदतमीज.
They're बदतमीज. Like आपसे बोल देंगे, आपने पूरा idea उनको go through कर दिया होगा. You know what? This is how we're going to shoot this video. ये हमारा story board है. ये idea है. सब आपने go through किया होगा. And they've been like really difficult in the sense कि वो आपको कभी कभार सिर्फ 24 hours देते हैं. Like they're like, we want this video tomorrow. It needs to drop tomorrow. You shoot today. Like, and they give you like just इतनी ही window है आपके पास, and you need to do it. So आप like जल्दी से आप एक story board बनाते हो and everything. Like I sit with जो बंदे जो मेरी video shoot करते हैं उनके साथ, and we go through it 2-3 times, and then we're like, okay, I'm shooting. It's good to go. They're like, good to go. आपने पूरा shoot कर लिया and everything.
Now they're like, no.
Yeah. And I was like, we literally spoke, and saaf si baat hai, it's wrong on the people who shoot your video to call them again. Or if you're calling them again, then hello, you need to pay
them again.
Pay them again for that. Yeah. So that is one thing which is frustrating, where you have to deal with that, and you have to like negotiate. Like, hey, if you're asking me to reshoot ये, कभी कभार होता है आपने एक बहुत अच्छा वीडियो बनाया होता है, like you love it, the content is great and everything. उनको कोई चीज़ नज़र आ जाएगी उसके अंदर, and they're like, इधर एक ये जो है ना इस पॉइंट पे इतने मिनट में आप एक वो डाल दो वॉइस ओवर, एंड इट जस्ट बिकम्स रिडिकुलस, या ये काट दो, स्टोरी ख़राब हो जाती है. सो लाइक पॉइंट बीइंग, आपको सरफेस पे नज़र आ रहा है कि हाँ यार इस बंदे को ब्रांड डील्स मिल रही है, सब कुछ मिल रहा है एंड एवरीथिंग. इट इज़ हार्ड वर्क. इट इज़ हार्ड वर्क, एंड इट इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ like you have to like keep your cool.
Sure.
A lot of the times you have to keep your cool. But एक और बात ये है कि and this goes for like other people and everything, जो सारा again who want to come into this, is that always identify अपनी circle के अंदर कौन लोग हैं जो आपका काम support कर रहे हैं.
That's it, bro. That's super powerful, man.
You need to identify
yes,
that.
Sir.
ठीक है?
Yes.
And remember, it always starts off with a joke. If they make a joke, a slight even backhanded comment,
they're out, dude.
They're out.
I'm sorry.
They're out. And I exactly know how they feel about this. Like वो हो गया है, वो envy, jealousy वाला factor आ गया है, and this will not go away. In fact, it just keeps on growing.
That's it.
So
that
साफ सी
bitterness,
बात है,
yeah.
like alhamdulillah, I'm very very thankful for like all the work that I've gotten and everything. Alhamdulillah, like दुआ करते हैं और मिलता रहे and everything. But I have also, along the way, it is also very lonely. And it's also very lonely because I've had to cut out people also, because you identify these people. Up instantly identify.
But that's a difficult decision you have to make.
You have to make it for yourself if you want to grow.
Yeah.
You cannot keep these people with you.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You cannot, because वहाँ आपको 2 मिनट पे पता चल जाता है कि यार ये जो है ना मेरी खुशी में ये खुश नहीं हो रहा है, या हो रही है, या ये मेरी खुशी में मेरा साथ नहीं दे रहे हैं.
Energy vampires, dude.
Yeah, and वो instant होता है. And अच्छा मेरे साथ जो होता है, like the way I deal with this is I don't give people explanations. I don't give them any explanations or anything. It's cold turkey. Like I identify it. It's a vibe देख लेता हूँ. It could be a comment or something, or like in an absolute like amazing case scenario, there's proof. Like I've heard them say something to someone. ठीक है?
क्या बोला था? Okay,
like,
tell me.
It's like कि ये बड़ा अपने आप को समझने लगा है.
Oh,
that kind of thing. Or
मतलब tricep flex देखा है? मतलब कैसे नहीं समझू मैं अपने आप को?
Oh yeah, I was like, he's changed. I was like, okay, I've
Transformation.
changed. Yeah. But बड़ा अपने आप को समझ रहा है. बड़ा अपने आप को समझ रहा है. I literally just spoke to you yesterday and everything. You know, these little things. Or then like they'll be like, I don't understand why he got that deal. I don't understand why he got that deal. He should not have got. And then everything. I was like, and then this is what I do. Like I have a rule of why I would unfollow someone, or why I would literally like cut them out from everywhere. It's literally 3 things. It's just 3 things. आप मेरा काम support नहीं करते, ठीक है? Or I found out that you're not supporting my work. 2, you've tried to make me feel bad about myself, or you just make me feel bad on the internet. And 3rd is कि we've just lost the connection. And I'm not. Because like the type of person that I am, if I see anyone from my circle doing well, छोटी सी भी चीज़ होगा, I'm going to go make it a point to tell them. I go tell them, I was like, good job. I try in my own way. And that's, and like I said, I don't give them any explanation. I just go, okay, bye, ठीक है. And आपको जो सोचना है सोचते रहें अपनी ज़िंदगी में.
Bro, because people will straight up, वो वाली famine mentality होती है ना, people will straight up try to cut you out of work because they think अगर आपको मिला तो उनको नहीं मिलेगा.
Yes.
Bro, हम साथ हैं against the marketing agencies, and then marketing agencies भी हमारे साथ ही होती हैं. We're all on the same boat.
Of course. And it actually makes my life easier कि कई दफ़ा someone comes up to me, he's like, oh, तुम्हें पता है उसने तुम्हारे बारे में क्या बोला था ये और वो. I was like, okay, yeah, cool and everything. And then like I cut both of them out because you know, and this is very profound. It's like, and someone said this to me. Why was it okay for them to say it to you? Why was it okay? What environment did you make that it was okay for them to come and say it to you? That means you probably feel that way somewhere deep down.
Either that or मतलब उनको क्या मिल रहा है उस चीज़ से, उनको क्या
or something आपका भी कोई है ना इसके अंदर. So like I said, like हाँ, alhamdulillah, the work has been great, alhamdulillah, like बहुत अच्छा काम मिल रहा है and everything. But yes, it has also been a bit lonely at times. It does, like and sometimes you wish you could share this with more people, but I guess that is the price you have to pay.
Bro, that is
the price you have to pay for this.
Yeah. People will never understand, man. People will never ever like. There's people that'll come up to me straight up and be like, मुझे भी पॉडकास्ट शुरू करना है, माइक्स कहाँ से खरीदे थे? Bro, it's not as simple as buying mics, ना. मतलब the thing, and मैं तो ये बोलता हूँ, I don't accredit myself with any of this. Think about how many people. So this is either going to be 144 or 145 episode, 5th episode, inshallah, Allah के हुक्म से. Inshallah. There's at least 145 people who've been kind to me, who've taken time out for no reason at all.
I mean, we've become friends.
Alhamdulillah. But really, you didn't need to.
No, right? Neither of us needed to. But it happened.
But it happened, right? आप मुझे बात बताओ, you're thinking, that's what you need to focus on. It's not about the mics. It's not about the cameras. It's about none of those things. It's about that. And it's about understanding that this is not easy.
No.
Loneliness की जो आप बात करते हो, most people will just throw you by the wayside until you're big. Inshallah, once you, Allah के हुक्म से very soon, cross 150, 200K, फिर देखना bro, फिर lonely नहीं होते हो.
नहीं, काजी वो अभी भी होता है in the sense के like
fans.
No. Groupies. These are people like you've been to like school with, college with, and everything, and they've been terrible to you. Yeah, terrible. And this is what I like thrive on. Like I thrive on this.
Alhamdulillah.
I thrive on this. These people have been terrible on me. It's like, hey bro, so happy to see your work. Message आता है. It's always like this. Mashallah भी आ रहा था बीच में. Mashallah, so proud of you and everything.
Proud of me.
I always know there is an incentive. I always know they don't want to like somehow they want to like show okay, this is my account, you should follow me, and then there is a wait, and then it's like I reply back, because I'm a nice person. I was like, hi, thank you so much, good to hear back from you. It's like,
by the way,
ये मेरी बेगम का शमीज का बिजनेस है, इसको आप शाउट आउट दे सकते हैं. शमीज का बिजनेस. And like they'll do small talk, and I was like, fuck off, man. You all are the same, literally.
We're generalizing, bro. वही वाली बात है. There's also very nice people also.
No.
But it's heartbreaking when this happens.
No, maybe it's साफ सी बात है. Unfortunately, the way our society is, Pakistan, and like I'm not generalizing, but the way it is because this is how society is. You will also see this on the family level. You will see this on friend level. It's like we cannot see other people be better than us. And somehow in our heads हमने बता लिया था ये हमसे बेहतर है, जबकि हम सेम फील्ड में भी नहीं होंगे. Like हम सेम कोई like literally कोई फील्ड, but somehow एक वो टॉलरेट नहीं होता है.
And पता है डिसेंट भी टॉलरेट नहीं होता.
नहीं,
डिसेंट भी नहीं होता. So
और हमने ये दोनों कर लिया आज.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. डिसेंट और इस किस्म का डिसेंट भी नहीं ना. So for instance, you're into content creation.
Yeah.
Content creation is still not the norm.
No.
Right? So people will also, I think, respond antagonistically towards that. कि यार ये क्या कर रहा है तू? Bro, why does it matter to you?
जैसे this is like something which happens so much, and this is like which I've even got from friends. ठीक है, they're like, यार तुम्हारे caption बड़े लंबे होते हैं, मैं नहीं पढ़ता. And so they would say this before to my face, ठीक है, अरे यार तुम्हारे तो caption बड़े लंबे थे, यार पता नहीं तो इतना लंबा क्यों लिखते हो, मैं नहीं पढ़ता.
ना पढ़ो, मुझे क्यों बता रहे हो?
मैंने exactly, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you read them. अच्छा, and it's like now that if I unfollow them and shit, because like obviously आपने तो दिखा दिया, आप तो support नहीं करते, ठीक है. Now they're like, bro, why you unfollow me? I was like, seen read, bye, ठीक है.
Seen read, bye.
Like that's the thing, and And this is one thing you should always notice, and this is how I feel like I identify people. Like, identify how the people treat you when
You're down.
when you're down, when you're not big, and when you start getting big and you start getting work and everything, which gives you prominence. Then see how they are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The people that alhamdulillah, that I still are like my friends and I've kept around are the ones who are the same, who know me before this whole Mr. Paki thing and who know me now. And they're the same.
That's it, bro.
And those are the people I've kept around.
And those are solid gold people.
And thank God for them.
Yeah, they're literal gold nuggets. There's people that, literally मेरे पहले episode से पहले भी they were like, हाँ तू कर ले. And they're still like, हाँ जाएं तू लगा रहे. बस और कुछ नहीं बोलते वो. And sometimes they don't understand what that means to you.
Yeah.
वही जो आपने बात बोली ना, sometimes it's lonely, it's super lonely. You're like, क्या मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ and all those things.
यार बताओ, अब तो खैर alhamdulillah, because like I've learned more. Because जितना आपका like जितना आपका process होता है, जितना आपको.
How long have you been doing this, bro?
यार, like the point where I've started getting this like, level of work and everything, alhamdulillah, like ads, billboards and this stuff, this has probably been like a year and a half, 2 years.
That's so big.
So a year and a half,
yeah.
two. Yeah. And this part of the life has not been gradual. It's just happened. Like, It's just happened. And at the same time, I've also had my fitness journey. Everything has happened together.
Yeah.
So it was around this time where I also started noticing how people would be around me. Like on the flip side, it was like some like people would be really ultra nice to me and everything, and I'd be like, I'm the same Bilal, like who was overweight also, and I'm still, but they're just nice to me now because I aesthetically look the way like the cool kid is supposed to look.
Right.
So you're now nice to me, or you'd like to be seen with me. These are the same people I would go to like बाहर कोई महफिल में जाए, बिलाल अच्छी तस्वीर लेता है, बिलाल तस्वीर ले रहा है, बिलाल को मगर तस्वीर में बुलाया नहीं जाता because बिलाल तस्वीर गंदी कर देगा, ठीक है, because Bilal is the fat child, ठीक है, like that's, excuse my language, but that's what it was, ठीक है, that's how they felt. But now it's like, oh my god, like if I go, yeah, I need to get a picture with Bilal यार साथ में flex भी करते हैं, I was like, please leave me alone, just leave me alone, I don't like you.
And the problem with behavior like that is when you contrast it with other people who are utterly kind to you for no reason at all. ऐसे लोग भी होते हैं. फिर आपको और बुरा लगता है कि ब्रो, जब ऐसा बंदा जिसको मेरे से कोई फायदा नहीं है, वो इतना नाइस हो सकता है, तो तुम भी थोड़ी कोशिश कर ही लेते हो.
वो बड़ा होता है. लाइक कई लोग होते हैं जो जेन्युइनली चाहते हैं आपका दोस्त बनना, मगर आप लाइक किसी आप अपने उस जोन में होते हो एंड एवरीथिंग. And but then you realize इनको कोई इंसेंटिव नहीं था. They just want
you to succeed. Like I'm like, what's in it for you?
And another thing that you probably notice is like you also get like probably like a lot of messages from people who would be like, oh my god, I really want to hang out with you. Oh my god, I really want to meet you and everything. Yeah, that's nice and everything. And initially I would, because like I would be like, broaden horizon. I'd like to meet more people. But then you realize they did not want to meet you for your content. They just wanted to meet you for your clout.
That's it.
And that is what that annoys me a lot. या कई दफ़ा like अगर कोई बाहर मैं कहीं जाऊँगा, like if I'm doing a talk or something and they're like, oh, it was really nice to meet Mr. Paki, and they'll tag me and shit and everything. I was like, you could have come and said hi.
You could have done that.
You could have come and said hi.
I would have liked that.
I would have liked that. You could just come say hi. Like, hey, if you see me and you just come say hi. Like, but rather than just because you're like, oh, ये share कर देगा, हमें थोड़े कुछ clout और मिल जाएगा. These are things, I feel like Pakistan में social media etiquette भी नहीं सिखाया जाता. Like, this is...
नहीं.
Like,
yeah. Who do you think is going to teach us?
I think like हम ही कराएंगे, हम ही लोगों को सिखाएंगे.
हम इतनी सही चीज सिखा देंगे.
इतनी सारी आज का तो सबक जो है ना बड़ा हुआ है, मसालेदार सबक है आज का.
Bro, you said talks. Have you done talks? Like TEDx and stuff like
no,
this?
Not TEDx. I recently like gave a talk at Lums. I went there. Yeah, I went this like 1-2 महीने पहले. I went in March. I was called at SMC over there. I did a talk and also like judged like a photography competition. Lums, though, I've been doing like consistently for 2-3 years, where it's been online, but this was the first time I went.
What's that experience like?
It was really nice. Yeah. It was really nice, and I was like on a panel of like some like amazing documentary photographers from all over the country. There was Amna Zubairi, there was Natasha, there was Amna Yasin, there was Umair Ghani. All of these like people who do
they're
like,
serious. Yeah.
serious, solid work and everything. And it's like to be included amongst them, like it's like you feel appreciated for your work.
That's it.
Like your work, and I feel like मेरे लिए जो I mean, alhamdulillah, like I say, alhamdulillah, जो सारा आपको काम मिलता है, like these billboards, all of that is great and everything, but मेरे लिए जो सबसे ज़्यादा जो मेरे लिए meaningful होता है, if someone says कि बिलाल मुझे तुम्हारा काम अच्छा लगता है, अगर कोई कहता है मुझे उसको मेरा काम अच्छा, या किसी ने कहेगा यार मैंने तुम्हारा वो post देखा था and everything, that was brilliant, and for me, like just, like that acknowledgement that you read it, or like,
Bro, but the powerful thing about content is this ना, आपको क्या पता मैं उस वक्त जिंदगी के किस ज़िम्रे से गुजर रहा हूँ.
No.
आपने एक अपने तरीके से नज़रिए से अच्छा लिखा, अच्छा फोटो लगाया आपने, या वीडियो बनाई आपने, पोस्ट कर दिया. आपको पता मैं कहाँ बैठा हुआ हूँ. So after you put it out there, it is no longer yours to construe.
It's public domain.
Yeah, and then it's on me, and for me to consume it with my pain and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's the power of it,
I mean, that is the power of social media.
Sure.
And so like wahan, like at Lums, it felt really nice. Like there were these people who had seen my work, who liked my work and everything. So like just to talk about it, I think it's like who doesn't want to talk about their work?
Sure.
Like and at the same time also broaden your horizon because you're listening to everyone else and their perspective.
I mean, even that panel, that's a panel, man.
Solid panel.
So last time आप आए थे, आपने बिल्कुल staunch फैसला था कि आप कैमरा नहीं उठाओगे.
हाँ.
अभी तक क्या वैसे ही है?
नहीं है, सोच रहा हूँ.
कैमरा लेना है?
हाँ, सोच रहा हूँ. Might get like a Fuji.
Oh, might get a Fuji?
Yeah,
like वो वाला?
Yeah, man.
Film वाला?
Yeah, film वाला.
Sure,
Fuji,
dude.
Fuji, baby.
Why not?
But like I do want to. I genuinely do want to. Hesitation होती है in the sense कि because मेरा style change ना हो जाए, because style in the sense कि mine is very street dead in the way, and it's very easy to do like a mobile से कर, but I feel like वो भी सीखना होगा, comfort zone से निकलना हो जाएगा. सब बहुत लोग करते हैं.
200% हो तो जाएगा.
हाँ, सब लोग करते तो हैं, ठीक है.
That style though, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
तो वो वाला scene है. जैसा अभी like I went to Sindh and everything, like वहाँ सक्खर लाड़काना like full. So वहाँ इसके साथ तस्वीरें ली थी, बहुत मजा आया था.
But something very interesting about what you just said. As a Sindhi na, other Sindhis will come up to me and they'll be like, when someone says na, I went to Sindh, and they imply going beyond Hyderabad, like you should correct them. But think about what you just said. You were saying something completely positive.
I do get like when I wrote this, even in captions and everything, there were some people who came and they were very angry. They're like, you are separating Karachi from all of this. I was like, I did not say that, did not imply that.
No.
I was implying that I went outside Karachi.
Yeah.
And
it's a colloquialism. It's not on you to change language, man.
Yaar, again, then it's also very much broader discussion and everything. In like now that we're talking about it, we should talk about it. Is the thing is that the demographics are very different also, and the way how both Karachi and the rest of Sindh also function is also very different. I'm not saying this in a good or a bad way.
No,
they're just different.
It's fact.
Unfortunately, fortunately.
Yeah.
And jo Karachi is like a mini Pakistan. It's very diverse. People from all ethnicities, races, religions, everyone lives. This does not mean that Sindh is not diverse, but Sindh is relatively more homogenous in its makeup. Like if you go to Sakhar, Larkana and everything, people would prefer to talk to you in Sindhi as opposed to in Urdu.
Yep.
At times, even if you go like beyond or deeper jao, to probably only Sindhi ही work करेगी. Even the signs also change and everything. And इसकी वजह से, yes, there is a difference. There is a communication gap, and I wish we would like work on that. And इसी की वजह से जब sentence में भी जब लोग बात करते हैं, it's like Karachi. I'm not saying that Karachi and Sindh, Karachi Sindh का part नहीं है.
आप कर क्या रहे हो? What were you saying? That's what I'm saying. No, you were doing exactly what you're telling me to do. कि यार जाके उन लोगों से बात करनी पड़ेगी. अब इसमें भी बैठ के मैं आपको बोलूँ नहीं बिलाल आपने बोला क्यों? Bro, because I'm identifying a problem. Because Karachi is not the same as Sindh, unfortunately.
It is not, unfortunately, and that is how it is. And वही बात है, you cannot force an identity on.
आप आंखें कैसे बंद कर लोगे कि यार नहीं ये मसला है
ये वो ही पूरी discussion पे आ गया, all back to it where we said like where इमरान खान जो बनते हैं कहते हैं you represent all of Pakistan. आप सारे पाकिस्तान के लीडर, you cannot force one identity on them. Likewise, सिंध के अंदर भी यही केस है, you cannot force an identity on like an entire city and everything. Like this does not mean कि कराची में सिंधी नहीं रहते, कराची में भी सिंधी रहते हैं, और कराची सिंधियों का उतना ही है जितना जो कराची के रहने वाले का है. That is not what I'm implying. But the point being is that a lot of people in Sindh get really, really sensitive about this. They're like, "आप बोल रहे हो कि Karachi Sindh का part नहीं है?" मैंने कहा, "I never said that.
You know
Karachi
what?
is the capital of Sindh."
I get aggressive about this, right? People are like,
But you have the privilege to do it because you can.
But
this is a conversation which you can have.
I can, and this is what I say to them. I'm like, okay, Sindhiyon का है ना, आ जाओ.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you want me to say, man?
That's what I'm saying. आपका भी उतना ही है जितना मेरा है. हक हम दोनों का उतना ही है. आ जाओ साफ से.
But will you be able to deal with life here? It's a fast life, man. It's very aggressive.
Yes. It's the same thing as just like another example which I'd like try to paint over here. New York City है और New York State है.
Yeah.
ठीक है. And वो लोग क्या बोलते हैं? वो लोग कहते हैं upstate या New York City.
Yeah.
They're specifying. That does not mean that New York City is not a part of New York State.
No.
This is exactly what is over here. If I'm saying Karachi, Sindh, what am I specifying? I'm specifying कि मैं Karachi से बाहर जा रहा हूँ. This does not mean anything.
Just modes of living is what you're highlighting, I think.
I'm just highlighting, they are different. This is just, it's not good or bad or anything. It's just that different. The demographics, the social makeup, the ethnic makeup, the religious makeup, they are different.
And yeah, dekho, if you have a problem now, if you have such a problem, develop Sakhar, develop Larkana, develop Hyderabad, develop these places. No?
But over here, people have that problem in this conversation. In Punjab, they don't have that problem.
No.
Like, if when they're saying hum Punjab ja rahe hain, they mean they're going out of Lahore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody has an issue with that.
That's super interesting.
Nobody has an issue.
Super interesting.
But people have an issue here. Like, agar if you talk over there, they're like, kahan ja rahe hain? Punjab ja raha hu. Ab Punjab ja raha hu can be anywhere outside Lahore. But if they're saying Lahore ja raha hu, they're very specific. Lahore sabse bada shehar hai Punjab.
You wonder, you think it's because the Sindhi identity has been systematically repressed?
Yes.
You think it's something like that?
I believe Sindh ke andar, and I would blame both. Like all the political parties over here.
Everyone involved.
Everyone over here who's been involved, there's the MQM, there's the PPP and everything, who have used ethnic politics to pit one another,
yes.
each other.
Yeah.
Where like the MQM claims कि Karachi हमारा नहीं ये आपका नहीं है, ठीक है. And then the PPP जो होते claim करते हैं ये सिंध आपका नहीं ये भी आपका नहीं है, ठीक है. ये यहाँ जो लोग रहते हैं उनका है. That's it. ठीक है. You work for us. You work for us.
Working for us.
You work for us. We don't work for you.
Yeah.
So, and because they've used this ethnic politics, and saaf si baat hai, wherever you use ethnic politics and they've pitted one another, each other, that's how they feel. And unfortunately, that is what has happened. And this is where this conversation comes in. If I say कि मैं Sindh जा रहा हूँ, they're like, oh, he is saying that Karachi is not a part of Sindh. I did not say that.
No. And your rage is misplaced. I think the problem is
it's the same thing as saying New York, upstate New York. That's literally upstate New York.
आप पूरी जिंदगी कराची में रहे हो?
Yes.
Do you believe कि हम अब ऐसे खुला बैठ के MQM के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं?
नहीं, कभी भी नहीं.
Bro, मुझे जो है ना
खौफ था.
अभी तो खौफ आता है.
अभी भी.
I'm like, dude, like these people, like जो हमसे छोटे हैं ना, जैसे जो 21-22 साल के हैं even, या जो 18-19 साल के हैं, they don't understand MQM कितना बड़ा टेरर था.
Dude.
School days में bro. School days में होते थे, मैं आया हूँ वहाँ.
Like हम सब ने बस जलती हुई एक दफा देखी है.
या कम से कम एक दफा देखी.
बस नहीं तो टायर तो देखा ही होगा.
तो टायर तो come on.
टायर तो देखा ही होगा. ठीक है.
बस देखिए.
Like and it was God, man, like there were scary times. The city has gone through scary times, and like it feels surreal. It feels surreal sometimes that shit we lived through. This was our city. Strike तो ऐसी होती थी.
Bro, strike call करने कैसे धड़ल्ले से आते थे bro.
School like I think महीने में एक दफा तो छुट्टी हो ही जाती. एक दफा तो हो ही जाती थी.
हाँ bro, आराम से.
एक दफा तो छुट्टी.
Think about the kind of think about the kind of life we were living, and then now to have comedians straight up make fun of MQM, bro, that was never a thing.
Bro, or like Altaf Hussain का like मजाक उड़ा रहे हो.
Bro, that was never a thing. That was never a thing, bro.
Bro,
I'm
you
sorry,
could never
man.
do that shit in Pakistan. Like again, like I say this like one thing which I'm also thankful for these things because of the media, and I'd also like the comedians and all the people who've been talking is like people don't understand. People do not understand, but Pakistan has come a very long way.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's only thanks to these people that मैं और आप यहाँ बैठ के conversation कर सकते हैं.
On their shoulders.
वरना Pakistan like if we talked about like 1999 में यहाँ media खुली थी. 1999. It's not long ago. It's like just 23 years back.
Yeah,
ठीक है, 23 years back. So यहाँ media खुली थी. Slowly channels आए थे ज़्यादा and everything. And then the internet came and then conversations started happening. Before that, if you like if like our parents listen to this conversation, they'd be like, तुम लोग पागल हो, ये ऐसी बातें क्यों कर रहे हो?
Yeah.
You know, that's what they would say.
Yeah.
Because their generation lived in fear.
Yeah,
their
dude.
generation lived in fear. Their generation lived in terror. And अभी भी अगर वो घर में बात करेंगे, 3 लोग ऐसे करके बात करेंगे.
That's it, dude.
Like amongst, I was like, you're in the house, man, chill. Like even like, and then नहीं दीवारों के कान होते हैं. Like, you know, stuff. They still have that mentality. Like
imagine living in that kind of fear, dude.
yeah, but like. And this is one thing which I even tell foreigners whenever they come to Pakistan, and they're like, well, they start lecturing us on the whole freedom of press and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Did you have no idea?
I was like, bro, we have just had 22, 23 years of like, I would not say freedom press, but I would say just the media opened up. That is how.
And in that time, we've had such brave journalists.
Oh my God.
We've had brilliant people, man.
Look, again, like if you look at journalism in our region, ठीक है? In our region, आप देखो, like आप Twitter follow करो and everything.
Pakistan की बात कर रहे हो?
No, I'm saying South Asia, ठीक है? So like I follow like the pulse everywhere.
Okay.
So like अगर आप India के अंदर देखो, तो India में जो है, it is just one narrative. There is, because that is how the press has become over there. It's just what they call it the Godi media, like जो सिर्फ मोदी की तारीफें करते हैं. That is it. And barely 1, 2, 3 बचे हुए जो like our voices जो are like opposition voices, I would say. Yeah, at least voices जो are not parroting that. As compared to that, Pakistan has a very vibrant media sphere. Like very vibrant. आपको like opinion क्या, आपको जो opinion चाहिए आपको मिल जाएगी. आप जाए मंडी के अंदर, आपको सारी opinion मिल जाएगी. आपको right, left, center, liberal, हर चीज़ मिलेगा.
इधर का उधर का सब.
इधर का. हमारा media ऐसा नहीं है उस तरीके से. So I feel like we have come a very long way in a very short period of time. In a very short period of time.
Yeah.
So like I'm very thankful for
I
that.
think मुझे some बुढ़ा news editor के साथ में बैठा हुआ था. बुढ़ा से मुराद, he's aged ना?
Yeah.
And he was describing to me what a crime reporter should look like. I was like, that's a very interesting thing. No,
Yeah.
what do you mean a crime reporter? Because again, we romanticize crime reporter. किसी भी show में देखो कैसा होता है.
CID.
हाँ, CID, full sexy suit पहना हुआ है, 8 packs all the time. Like, what's going on here, right?
Excuse me.
हाँ जी. तो जो है, he was like कि असल जो crime reporter होता है ना बेटा, मैं इतना छोटा सा हूँ, मेरे बाकी बेटा बोलते बेटा, उसके मुंह से तो आग निकलती है. And I'm like, what do you do? He's like, 3 दिन का सोया हुआ नहीं होता. I'm like, what? But that's the thing, na? This profession, journalism, especially reporters, crime reporters, they're a brave lot.
Yes.
You know, and they've had to be brave because, again, of the kind of environment that they've reported in. And,
Absolutely.
you know, जो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे कि as school going kids, O levels के वक्त, A levels के वक्त, हमें ये बोला जाता था कि यार मेरे गार्डन में लोग रहते हैं और वो जो है ना MQM के लड़के हैं.
Oh,
और
fuck.
हमारी हल्क सूख जाती थी. We were just like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
वैसे में to actually report on these people.
It takes balls. It takes a lot of guts and everything. And Pakistan has consistently had journalists like this, where they literally, उनका कोई incentive नहीं होता. It's just to get the truth out. Literally उनका यही होता है.
This is the job.
This is the job.
आपको ना पैसे मिल रहे थे, ना आपको
नहीं.
कुछ मिलना था.
कुछ नहीं.
This is the job.
And so like, again, वही बात है, because it doesn't fit in the narrative. It doesn't fit in the narrative. Pakistan does not get a lot of credit for this. Even like under these like the PTI years and everything, press freedom was pretty down and everything. We were self-censoring. लोग बोल नहीं रहे थे कुछ भी. उसके बावजूद भी लोग बोल रहे थे. उसके बावजूद भी reporting हो रही थी. उसके बावजूद भी सब कुछ चल रहा था. I mean, the press was being attacked and everything. Like, आपने ये क्यों बोल दिया, वो क्या बोल दिया, ये ड्रामे सब चल रहे थे and everything. But still people were reporting. And like, again, when I look at all of the world, how it's like, जहाँ रिपोर्टिंग हो रही है and everything is like, वहाँ सब हर जगह एक नैरेटिव बन गया. And there's no Pakistan like.
Yeah. आप सिर्फ प्रेस क्लब जाओ तो सही.
हो या खुशबू लगा के जाए तो सही.
जाओ तो सही. Yeah, I think alhamdulillah, all in all, definitely hopeful. What do you think is going to happen though? Because now Imran Khan is breaking all records in terms of how many people he can generate.
Yeah.
You know, jalsas or online presence. There's nobody bigger.
Oh yes, I mean, Imran is a titan. He is a titan in Pakistani politics, and you cannot ignore him. That is what he's made very, very clear. Like, you cannot ignore him. Like, I mean, he's pulling out these like again figures.
One after the other.
Figures आपको नहीं पता anything, but Karachi में बड़ा था. Karachi में like literally I was just looking at my list. I felt like everyone was there.
Bro, everyone was there.
Literally.
And the streets were locked. मतलब आप कहीं नहीं जा सक रहे थे.
That day I went to KFC.
Yeah.
खाली पड़ा हुआ था because everyone was over there. ठीक है.
बिलाल अकेला बैठा हुआ है.
Everyone was at the jalsa. I was like, क्या? It was like आपको एक जिंगर, मैंने कहा नहीं 3 जिंगर करें. टाइम है, बनाए बैठ के. फिर मैं सहरी पे I went to IHOP and everything. तो सब जो थे वो वहाँ से फिर होता वो IHOP आ रहे थे. तो सब like झंडे वंडे. तो I was like, okay, काफी पार्टी चली है, ठीक है. Pakistan, the way Pakistan functions is you cannot predict. And Pakistan वो वाला एक Netflix का serial है जहाँ like spoilers भी like जो है ना नहीं है. Like we are in uncharted territory right now. Like uncharted territory in the sense कि while yes, history, a part of it is kind of repeating itself. These things have happened before, but there's also a part of history which is very new to us, where we don't know what the hell is going to happen. And we, for all we know, we could go into another elections like very soon. For all we know, it could be scheduled next year, जैसे वो है. And Pakistan being Pakistan, in a very short span of time, बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. Script में बहुत सारी चीजें आ सकती हैं. Good, bad, ugly, anything could happen.
People have flirted with the idea of martial law. I was so grateful that the chief of army staff came out. He was like, we're not doing that again. I was like, thank you.
वो best एक joke था, एक बंदा कह रहा था, I think we are going to have marshmallow. ठीक है. इसका 6 साल का भाई कह रहा था. So I was like, yeah, बस यही हो जाए, marshmallow हो जाए ये now. I mean, because we've lived through the Musharraf years also, ठीक है, and that was like a full-blown military dictatorship. That was also like another dystopia in itself. वो भी हमने देखा है. So like पाकिस्तान का जहाँ तक scene ये है कि I am always for democracy.
हाँ, dude, yeah.
जैसा है चलते रहे.
हाँ, so I've heard people.
It will eventually evolve.
That's it. We need
be
time.
patient.
We need time to work this out.
Yeah.
But we'll have to do it with each other. एक दूसरे को मार के नहीं होगा.
नहीं और
yeah.
और कोई आपके हाथ पकड़ के नहीं आगे करेगा ये, ठीक है.
You'll have to do it yourself.
We will have to do it ourselves, the good, the bad, the ugly. And another thing which I hope and I wish Pakistanis would learn to accept a difference in opinion, because that is what a democracy is, and that is what a diverse 220 million country should look like. Like if we all had the same opinion and the same rai, we would be boring. साफ सी बात है. But and keep in mind 220 million के ऊपर we also speak पता नहीं कितनी different languages, कितनी different ethnicities, कितनी different races हैं. Like हमने तो अभी सिर्फ सिंध और कराची के complex relationship पे touch upon किया था. हमने literally like dipped our toe in it. ठीक है. Like अभी तो हम दूसरे provinces पे गए नहीं and everything. आप सोचे कितने myriad of like ये हैं like these issues. And it's okay to talk about this, and it's okay to say, you know what, I disagree with you, but you know what, I respect your opinion, and I'm glad we had this conversation. That is what I wish Pakistanis would evolve with time, and that is how democracy should evolve.
You think we are evolving?
No, I feel like we are right now at a plateau. We are right now on a plateau. Like we are at a point where we have two very divergent views, and both of them have become echo chambers. And they are not meeting one another. Like they should meet one another so that हम evolve करें. वो अपने echo chamber में शोर मचा रहे हैं, ये अपने echo chamber में शोर मचा रहे हैं, मगर ये दोनों जो हैं इनका मिलाप नहीं हो रहा है. And it's like I said, they don't agree with one another, and that is fine, but they should at one point, for our sake, meet, talk, and have sex and just probably move on. Let out that frustration.
I guess.
Let out that frustration.
Sure.
Because we are suffering. We are suffering.
That's it. They need to prioritize us, because एक तरीके से, you know, I know they're not actually our daddies, लेकिन you know, we are their subjects एक तरीके से.
Of course, but and it takes an emotional toll on you eventually, because you are seeing this drama play out again and again. Like I said, जैसे हमने अपनी like जिंदगी में कितना कुछ shit देख लिया है, ठीक है. Like इतनी हमने हिस्ट्री अपनी आंखों के सामने देखी, जो लोग पाक स्टडीज में पढ़ेंगे. 7 mark question, इमरान खान आउस्टर, 14 mark question.
Bro, someone needs to put this in the Park studies. वो जो CS के करीब जो bombing हुई थी ना, bro.
Yeah.
I used to live there.
चौधरी असलम वाला.
Yeah, Chaudhary Aslam, bro. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like
Karachi hero
just
and shit. So
randomly bomb blast.
Randomly.
1 minute, boss.
Yeah, like
how are we having a bomb blast here, man?
Like literally, like it's like these things, or like with the Benazir assassination, everyone has a story of where they were. Everyone in Pakistan has a story of where they were, what was happening, what happened, because something or the other happened, and like you know,
that was heartbreaking, bro.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Bro,
absolutely.
I've heard people to this day, so much time later, cry about why she came back.
Yeah.
अब बोलते ये हैं कि जो इस दफ़ा आई थी ना, तो फैसला करके आई थी, अब नहीं जाऊंगी. Oh man.
It was very heartbreaking, and it was heartbreaking to see what happened to the country after that. It was heartbreaking to see how she went, and it was also like and like two things happened in parallel. Like when she landed, like when you see like this tsunami,
Yeah,
this
dude,
wave of people coming to welcome her, like almost like 3-4 million people in Karachi, like, where the streets had come out to welcome her. Again, I repeat, I do not support the PVP and everything. I'm just stating facts.
these
here.
are people, yeah.
But I'm just stating facts here and shit. And then just to see her just go and so brutally, so tragically, it was like, and Saaf si baat hai, we all saw the country burn. Like
Yeah.
it would just.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I got stuck in one of those mobs, pata hai, Hyderabad mein.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was.
I remember like we were at home. There was this, my sister's best friend. She couldn't get home, and so like and the signals had dropped and everything. So we just remember someone like हमारे गेट पे जोर से ठप करा था, and like वो ट्यूशन से वापस आई थी, हमारे कुछ घर के करीब था. And when दरवाज़ा खोला, and she was just sweating and she couldn't talk, and she's like and like मेरी बहन कहती है क्यों आई हो? अभी आने का क्या टाइम है? उसने न्यूज़ नहीं देखी थी, ठीक है? She's like मैंने तुमने न्यूज़ नहीं देखी? She's like क्या? I was like तो क्या पियोगी? Like just come sit in the kitchen. मैं उसको खाना दे रहा हूँ. और my sister's दोगी. She's like क्यों इसकी इतनी खातिर कर रहे हो?
What is this?
She's like
This is
इस वक्त
nonsense.
क्यों आई हो? ये आने का टाइम है क्या? मैंने कहा good. Go open the news. And then like she got stuck in a mob and everything. उसके सामने गाड़ियाँ जल रही थी, and she couldn't get home. So we were like, you know what, stay as long as you want over here. आराम से like अपना ही घर समझो.
Yeah. There's so many people with so many stories
Yeah.
about exactly that कि वो 3-4 दिन फिर.
My dad was stuck in like उनका clinic होता था गुलिस्तान जौहर में at Darul Sehat. तो वो तो like he was just stuck there. He literally was stuck there for 2 days. Like like you know, like everyone has like some.
No, पता है क्या Bilal? I think we have a problematic relationship with trauma and dealing with it.
Kazi, the problem is, you know, and this, I had this very good discussion like in Lahore, like with this artist Shazil Malik.
Okay.
She makes great art and everything.
Wonderful,
So and she really hit the nail on the head. She's like, Pakistan has gone through successive cycles of trauma, like in our lifetime hum itna hai, but we have never sat down and talked about it or healed from it or processed from it. Instead, we just move into another cycle.
Yeah.
We just move into another cycle and we just move. And it's compounded. अब मेरे और आपके ऊपर जो है is not just ये जो 30 साल का ट्रॉमा है, ठीक है? हमारे ऊपर हमारे अम्मा अब्बा दादी दादा का भी, because they have not dealt
We've
with
inherited,
it.
yeah.
We've inherited this intergenerational trauma. So जो हमारे ऊपर आ रहा है, जैसे because दादी हमारे साथ रहती है and everything, तो मेरे साथ दादी का मेरा partition भी आ रहा है, 58 है, 65 है, 71 है, बांग्लादेश है, which we don't talk about, but yes, वो सब कुछ कंपाउंडेड आके आए जा रहा है, and then this Kashmir obviously, ठीक है? So and we just basically, the Pakistani way of doing it is like, हाँ हो गया, चलो हो गया ना, ठीक है, or at best we will just erase it from the history books. नहीं हुआ. किस बात का तुम शोर मचा रहे हो? And what happens is it just gets compounded and takes a toll on you. Basically, if Pakistan में, if everyone, पूरी कौम को जो ना थेरेपी की जरूरत.
पूरी कौम को थेरेपी की जरूरत. That's it.
Like
पूरी कौम को, yeah.
काजी बिलाल से आके बैठे बस went out. सारा दिल.
Yeah. Every single person. Our societal psyche is fractured, dude.
Yeah.
It is fractured. And
you know, like I feel like right now with this whole ouster, like what I felt was, I was like, oh shit, back again.
Yeah, same cycle.
That is literally what, like
same cycle.
Like I was like, and that is what I felt. Obviously, like on us alhamdulillah us level पे वो violence and all that shit, जो like जो clusterfuck जो हम बन गए थे.
Bro, शुरू हो रहा था ना bro.
जो 2007 to 14 वाला जो था, वो जो.
Bro नहीं, लेकिन यहाँ पे भी शुरू हो रहा था ना, where PML and PTI supporters were literally getting into clashes.
Yes.
Dude, just one bullet, man.
Oh.
Just one torch, just one bat. किसी कोई मर जाता फिर क्या होता?
बस arson.
Yeah, bro.
Arson.
Absolute chaos,
arson,
ना?
ठीक है. As Karachiites, we know this script very well. ठीक है, एक ethnicity ने दूसरी ethnicity को उठा के
एक हाथ लग
शहर जल जाएगा, पूरा शहर जल जाएगा, ठीक है? Like पठान on Majar on Sindhi on Majar, ये पूरा शहर जल जाएगा. Like, and we've lived through this. We know what it's like.
Yeah,
So I feel like as a Karachiite, आपके ऊपर एक or cognizant होते हो of this, you're like, oh shit man, please not
Please
again.
don't do this.
please
हाँ.
मैं रहम करता हूँ, आप गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं दो कराची में. कराची को ऑटो पायलट पे छोड़ दो, बस हमें छोड़ दो, just छोड़ दो.
हाँ, just don't, please.
So like and that is what it is.
Yeah, dude. I think we should. Yeah, this was a good podcast.
It was insane.
It
like
was
I
a roller
think
coaster.
we were like all over. We were like all over, man.
मैंने बताया था आपको कि मैं I don't usually do iftari more than 2 khajurs. लेकिन आज जो है ना, some wonderful neighbors send me some iftari. And I wasn't feeling well, तो मैंने और चावल से भी खाना मंगाया था. और चावल खाया कभी?
नहीं, क्या है?
Bro, और चावल is imagine if this was a sponsored segment.
इतने लोग हमने स्पॉन्सर किया, इतने लोग हमने इसके अंदर
और चावल,
पल्स और चावल, ठीक है.
I'll check out Pulse inshallah. But हाँ, और चावल is a food concern that my friend Akhlaq Meher started. And basically home cooked meals. But and affordable prices. And they have a pre-decided menu. कोई मतलब प्रोटीन वोटीन नहीं होता, but घर का खाना basically to your doorstep. हाँ, to your doorstep. और तो मैंने वो भी मंगाया हुआ था. तो bro, मैं जो है ना, आज शायद ज़्यादा एनर्जी है मेरे अंदर. I think that's what it is. But Bilal, thank you, dude.
No man,
thank you for.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Alhamdulillah, but thank you for the work that you do. And
Thank
it is
you for the work.
but it's super important, dude, that you do.
Mutual.
It's super important that you do. Everyone knows where to find you, Instagram pe Mr. Paki and all those things. I'll put a link in. Final thought though, you said as a rule, you want to support people that are doing good work.
Yes.
You feel it's a responsibility?
Well, when you get a platform and you have all these followers and everything, it does feel like a responsibility. And especially also when you have privilege saath mein added to it. You're like, I need to do something. And this is the least that I can do.
This is the least you could do.
That I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The least you could do is be kind.
Least you can be is kind, not be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
And just amplify people who need their voices heard. Simple as that.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Bilal, Kazi, Assalamu alaikum.
Bye-bye.